almost like the greatest day of the week. Welcome back. Welcome aboard. A new hour comes your way as we turn the page on the calendar. Where are we at? 4th day of November. Here in 2025. All right, trust your week's off to a good start here. I'm Steve Sommers. It is the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. And we'll take a look at some of our travelers' weather around the country here. For many of those drivers who like to try and save money and maybe eat out of the truck, you might buy frozen foods, have your freezer in the truck. There's been a recall that's been ongoing for several weeks, but it hasn't come to an end, they tell us. At this point, there's a number of fatalities, at least 6 dead, another 25 hospitalized. It's a listeria outbreak linked to pre-cooked pasta. According to the Food and Drug Administration, this first popped up on the radar all the way back early in the summer. And since then, each progressive update, they tell us, has been more worrying, ultimately leading to the most recent update late last week. Since the last CDC case count in late September, a total of 7 new illnesses from 3 states reported, 2 additional deaths reported, 27 infected in the outbreak of listeria. 18 different states they know at this point impacted. The numbers could be much higher. It is not clear if the FDA counted another death, but it was actually a pregnancy that was lost, a fetal loss. According to the FDA, a food supplier known as Nate's Fine Foods Incorporated ultimately expanded their own self-reported recall as the issue continued to fester. Now, Nate's Fine Food does not sell product direct to retail. The company appears to make large batches, they tell us, of pre-cooked pasta, which individual retailers can then repackage under their particular brand. Because of that, there's a large list, a number of pre-cooked products across multiple big names and big name stores being affected. These pasta dishes ranging from what they call take and bake entrees to pre-made cold pasta salads to, and I think this is the concern, frozen pasta dishes that may still be in people's freezers. Many of the products had best use by dates late in the month of October, some earlier than that. But the concern with some of these frozen foods, they have best by dates as late as March of 2027. So these could very well be in people's freezers. They're taking them out and then, of course, microwaving, thawing the product. Some of these 2027 best by dates, something known as Scott and John's Shrimp Scampi with Linguine Bowls. There's a number of best by dates. Trader Joe's had Cajun-style blackened chicken breast fettuccine Alfredo. Most of their best by dates were late September through maybe mid-October. You've got market side linguine and beef meatballs with marinara sauce. Most of the best by dates were in October there. Market side grilled chicken Alfredo with fettuccine. Some of these best by dates as late as June of 2027. Now, according to the FDA's update, people interviewed, over half of them had recalled eating a pre-cooked pasta dish. Half of that group specifically recalled eating a chicken Alfredo dish. Listeria can be deadly. Symptoms can be pretty nasty and deceptive. Mild symptoms would involve maybe a fever, muscle aches, some nausea, tiredness, maybe vomiting and diarrhea. In many cases, those milder cases would go unreported. People feel like they've come down with a stomach bug or something and may recover. But as listeriosis develops, it can get much more severe. Headaches, stiff neck, confusion, loss of balance, convulsions. They do make a special point to warn pregnant women, while they may typically experience the lesser symptoms of listeria, the infection itself can lead to either a miscarriage, stillbirth, premature delivery, or a life-threatening infection of the newborn child. There are numerous states on the list. The FDA said the investigation is ongoing there, but just heads up, maybe check the recall list there. All right, let me see what's going on with Knuckle Buster, getting the new week started here. What's happening out there?
Morning, Mr. Steve Sommers, and a totally terrific Tuesday to you. Man, I'm just riding up and down the highway there trying to get back to Memphis there. I had to start out early Sunday, so I was asleep while your show was on Monday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning, so that's all right. But anyway, we just been riding around, looking around at this windshield, calculating them miles up more and more every day there, and I stopped down there and checked to see my big girlfriend there, so she makes sure I have to stop in there every night. So if I don't stop, she'll get on to me there. But that's all right. I need somebody to keep me on straight and narrow anyway, right?
That's right.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, shoot, I don't know, man. It's been, all this traffic's kind of thinned out a bit. I ain't near as many trucks out here running around, not lately, which I know they've taken a bunch of them off of the highway, and they need to. As far as our freight's still maintaining heavy. Freight going down, freight coming back. I don't have to lay around waiting on a backhaul, so that's a good thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still making good money. So, and my grandbabies, they just they want all of it. They just every time I see one of them, they say, "How about give me some money? I need to go buy some more fishing lures."
What are grandkids for?
Oh yeah, that's right. Give them all that money and let them have it there. So, shoot, I just listen. Well, they called in a couple of times, and I called yourself on one time because I just totally lost the show on everything there. So I couldn't pull you up for nothing. So
yeah,
I'd have been on my end.
No,
there,
we lost internet for a couple minutes. We did have a brief outage there, and I had another hiccup here a few minutes ago. So everything working for the moment. Knock on wood.
Yeah, well, that's normal. You know, it's man-made, so it's not perfect, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. So, I keep listening in there, and I got something for heat wave. When you get west of Little Rock, the traffic going out 40 west slacks off because all them idiots are making the left-hand turn and going down there towards Dallas on 30. So that's why all that traffic clears out up there on 40. And then when you get back up there to Little Rock, everybody's going back towards Memphis there. So that's why all that traffic's heavy on the east of Little Rock there. So, and last week, Steve, when I left Dallas, they had I-40 East shut down over there at Wickley, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Because of a truck wreck. And when I went by it at 3:30 in the morning, it was still on fire out there in the ditch. So, I mean, that's amazing, all these truck fires we have it nowadays. I don't know. You used not see them there with that good old number 2 diesel, but this stuff they got now, And the cars, I mean, I gas they got now putting in them cars ain't worth a flip. So you better get some gasoline extreme and all that good stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. All right, well, I'll keep listening in. I'll be awake during that long this hour. I'll call back and somebody smarts something off. I think I need to call me, and I'll call back in too. So might get 2 or 3 calls out of me tonight.
You set them straight. There you go. All right. Well, good to hear from you. Getting the week started there. Knucklebuster.
At TAL, we know what it takes to succeed as an owner-operator because we were founded by one. The big secret? Affordable new trucks. New equipment keeps you moving, improves cash flow, and delivers reliability. For over 20 years, we've helped drivers take the next step in their careers. Call TEL at 866-404-6289 and use promo code OVERNIGHT100. We look forward to meeting you.
Hello, Big T here with Diesel Power Group. Listen, if your truck's in a repair center and you think it's being misdiagnosed or worse, being overcharged for an overhaul or an engine replacement, you need to stop and call Diesel Power Group now. Allow us to build the DPG solution that is right for you, not the repair center. We have over 4 decades in engine remanufacturing experience and specialize in Caterpillar, Cummins, Detroit, Mack, International, and John Deere. DPG offers an industry-leading warranty and turnaround times. We want to earn your trust every day. Don't believe us? Challenge us today by calling 574-594-5888 or visit us at dieselpowergroup.com and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We are available 24/7. Mention code 374 and receive a $200 rebate towards your major failure repair.
We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout.
Coming up, Plowboy checks in here on an early Tuesday. See what Eagle has going as he gets his new week started there. First, Mr. Fuller with Freight Waves says he anticipates a number of freight brokers, many of them large brokers, are going to fail over the next year, stating if the current freight climate continues, again, a number of freight brokers will fail. The current market presents a toxic combination of sluggish freight volumes and firming spot rates, which is the worst possible environment for freight brokers, he says. Freight brokers act as the intermediaries between shippers and carriers. Profits from the margins between the contract rates, what they charge shippers, and spot rates, what they pay carriers for immediate loads. Brokers generally thrive, he explains, under specific conditions. Low volumes with declining spot rates. Stable volumes and rates. Could be high volumes with declining spot rates or high volumes with surging spot rates. However, the current environment, characterized by low volumes, rising spot rates, totally flips the script, squeezing margins, exposing vulnerabilities. Spot rates have been climbing as this compliance crackdown continues, taking, well, he used the word bottom feeder, taking bottom feeder capacity out of the market. This is generating marginal increases in spot rates as the bottom of the market's washed out. But market conditions lack strong underlying support. Tender volumes down roughly 20% year over year. Rejection rates remaining flat. This softness in demand, compounded by gradual capacity tightening in the spot truckload market, where freight volumes are weak amid a goods recession that's further eroding. Normally, when spot rates increase, it happens because volumes are increasing relative to conditions. This demand shock allows brokers to reset their rates with the shippers, knowing the shippers don't have a ton of alternatives. Well, in this climate, that's not possible. Due to slow volumes, large asset carriers have plenty of available capacity, and they're willing to accept the loads on offer so long as the rates are nominally higher than where they've been trending. General rates in the spot market have not increased substantially, but the bottom of the market is being eliminated as it was mostly represented by carriers that were not compliant and willing to violate the rules. I mean, things like driving 18 hours a day, even when the rule state a driver can only log 11 hours. Those carriers are being eliminated through the compliance crackdown. Rates are slowly trending up to a place where an asset-based carrier is willing to take the load. Furthermore, shippers that FreightWaves has spoke with in recent weeks have told us they're starting to favor using asset-based truckload carriers due to the fact that those carriers have more control over who's hauling their freight because the feds are cracking down on compliance. Yeah, that's a trend that's probably going to continue. Many mid-market brokers amplified their risk by leveraging earnings 8 to 10 times through credit facilities, often tied to covenants requiring maintained gross margin percentages. As margins compress due to the need to absorb higher spot rates without passing cost to shippers, these brokers face repayment demands that could push them to bankruptcy. He said he spoke with the CEO of a large freight broker who told me he's tracking dozens of companies that are effectively insolvent as we speak, but unable to acquire them as the debt far exceeds what the business is actually worth. Kind of thinning the herd, as they say. 29 past the hour.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is warning of more air traffic disruptions as the government shutdown continues.
During an appearance on CBS Face the Nation, Duffy said passenger safety remains the top priority. The FAA is reporting understaffing at several airports as air traffic controllers are working without pay during the government shutdown. Major airlines have begun to call on Congress to end the shutdown and pay air traffic controllers. Delta, United, American, and Southwest are urging the U.S. Senate to immediately pass a clean continuing resolution that would pay federal employees. I'm Mark Mayfield.
President Trump says he doubts the U.S. will go to war with Venezuela.
He was asked about the possibility during an interview with CBS's 60 Minutes.
I don't think so, but they've been treating us very badly, not only on drugs. They've dumped hundreds of thousands of people into our country that we didn't want. People from prisons, they emptied their prisons into our country.
When he was asked, Trump wouldn't say if he was considering land strikes in Venezuela. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
From America's News Network, this is USA Radio News.
Business owners, are you paying high phone bills for old school systems and lousy service? StrongTel cuts your phone bills in half and turns every phone you own into a feature-rich business system. Sean Roddy, CEO of Hennings Brothers Drilling, had this to say: "We've been a StrongTel customer for over 10 years. It's great. It even includes an intercom with video to our equipment yard. I can watch live from anywhere with my smartphone. I'd recommend StrongTel to anyone. Never miss a customer call again with your StrongTel business system. StrongTel is a proud iTex partner and always welcomes your iTex dollars. You'll get award-winning StrongTel service a business-class phone system, and cut your phone bill in half. So visit strongtel.com right now. That's Strongtel, STRONGTEL.com. Strongtel.
Transport Enterprise Leasing, founded by a U.S. Army veteran, proudly supports those who've served. Veterans receive a $750 discount on their lease deposit with 24/7 maintenance support, national parts discounts, and interest-free financing. TEL is committed to your success. Call 866-404-6289 and use promo code overnight100 or visit tel360.com. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system. We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout. Tired of the guesswork when it comes to your load weight? With RightWay, stay in control on the road and on the DOT's good side. From onboard load scales to Bluetooth-enabled monitoring, RightWay helps truckers and fleets cut down on time, fines, and fuel waste, all without hitting the scale. Smarter hauling starts here. Want more details? Head over to rwls.com. RightWay. Drive more, scale less. Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Winter is here. When the temperature drops, so does your truck's performance. Avoid fuel gelling by using Hot Shot Secret's EDT Plus Winter Defense, a 7-in-1 fuel booster and anti-gel that improves cold weather performance. The 7-point cetane boost decreases DPF regens and increases fuel economy. Be confident that your engine is running smoothly and trouble-free, even in the coldest temperatures. Hot Shot Secret EDT Plus Winter Defense, available at Pilot Flying J, Amazon, O'Reilly Auto Parts, and HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
The Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers. Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. Call Steve now. 844-844-3388. That's 844-844-3388. All right, thanks for joining us here as we close out a Monday, Tuesday coming on from time zone to time zone, 4th day of November. Yeah, Monday Night Football, Cowboys, another loss. All right, we'll get to some of the other industry headlines coming up here. First, let's get back to the calls. Promise we get to Plowboy. Morning, Plowboy.
Good morning, Steve. Steve, where's your switches at in your control room down there? Something's not on right. You're very muffled. It sounds like you're 1,000 foot away from your microphone, like it's almost on top of your head.
Really?
Yep. I heard somebody try to call you. I can't even hear you. Your news breaks or nothing, but I did hear somebody's phone ringing in there. So, yeah. I mean, it sounds like you're in the barrel and a half, really.
So I guess maybe maybe I need to reset the phones.
It might not hurt, but no, something's way off, very muffled. Yeah, I'll call you back. Try it again then.
Okay.
Because I can barely hear you.
All right, so maybe that, I mean, when we did the reset thing there, that might have dropped him off there a little bit. You know what I mean? Ding dong. We'll reset the phones. All right, so as we do that, it is 844-844-3388. So let me jump over to the president going after the drug cartels, right? President Trump has ordered his national security and defense teams to expand these briefings, classified briefings for Congress on his anti-narcotics operations. There's a lot going on, both in the Caribbean and the Pacific. Lawmakers in both parties are wanting more transparency as we continue to see these maritime interdictions taking out the drug boats, the increased military activity, especially near Venezuela. According to the latest update, the U.S. has now sunk at least 15 different vessels, killing more than 60 suspected drug smugglers. The president has told his aides, quote, "I keep getting calls about this from congressmen, and I've directed staff to make sure everyone on the Hill knows what we're doing here." Now, he's made this crackdown a central part of his second-term security agenda. He said the cartels have turned the Caribbean into a floating highway of poison. Navy and Coast Guard vessels have been patrolling closer to Venezuelan waters, where intelligence officials say traffickers operate with help from the Maduro's security forces. Here in recent week, U.S. and allied aircraft and ships have been destroying fast boats, fishing craft suspected of moving cocaine or fentanyl ingredients. Pentagon officials say the operations are meant to disrupt and dismantle the criminal networks, although they warn the cartels are increasingly armed and confrontational. Caribbean governments are urging caution. Leaders in Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, the Dominican Republic, advising Washington don't take actions that might destabilize the very fragile maritime economies. There's been multiple reports of the White House discussing possible limited land-based strikes on some of the infrastructure actually inside Venezuela. And now word comes down this past day that the U.S. reportedly planning to send troops and intelligence officers into Mexico to target the cartels there. Training has reportedly already begun for such a potential mission, according to two current U.S. officials. No deployment to Mexico is imminent, they said, but the plan would deploy both U.S. military and CIA personnel on the ground and include drone strikes on cartel targets. According to the report, if indeed put into action, that would be a significant escalation in the president's ongoing campaign against the Latin American drug cartels. Trump administration is committed to utilizing an all-of-government approach to address the threats these cartels pose to American citizens, according to one official. If the mission is approved, the administration reportedly plans to keep the operation secret, obviously, and not publicize any strikes, unlike what have been the video-documented attacks on the cartel boats in the Caribbean and the Pacific. The plan calls for drone strikes against drug labs in Mexico, as well as top cartel leaders, not intended to undermine the Mexican government. Troops will reportedly mostly be Joint Special Operations Command members who operate under the intelligence community, under their authority. Past administrations have deployed the CIA to aid in missions against cartels from the Mexican government, but have never gotten involved directly as this particular plan supposedly prescribes. So we shall see. All right, see if Plowboy, take two here.
Oh, 1,000% better. Thanks, Steve.
There you go.
Me back, but no, like I said, 1,000%. You were naming some states that these fine New Yorkers could be moving to. Which were they?
South Carolina. It was Carolinas, Tennessee, and what was the other? Was it Florida?
Could have been, yeah. Well, put it this way. Every now and again, I know we have somebody will speak for one another on your radio show, but since we ain't heard from him, let's give a shout out to them fine New Yorkers. If it does happen, which I prayed and hope in Jesus above it does not. But I had to speak from the monkey catchers. If y'all come to South Carolina, leave your crap up there. This is a great state down here in South Carolina.
Right, leave. In other words,
don't bring your bull with you.
Leave your New York politics. That's what Bongino used to say for all the New Yorkers coming down to Florida. Leave your New York politics there, but you're welcome to come down.
Exactly. And I mean, wow. I just almost see it now. He'll be the welcome wagon in the training session. But I don't know. He may not be a very long-lived mayor up there. No, I ain't talking about violence. Remember that lady who's damn near a terrorist in her own self? I think her name is Linda Sarsour, or however you want to, Sarsour is her name. I mean, she is going to lay down the groundwork she wants them to do, like chase the police off from any terrorist threats and knock down the protesting, all this garbage. Well, what is this going to do? Is when Israel throws all them Hamas and bastards out of the Gaza, are they going to find them a new home in New York? I'm just asking because I was reading what she was trying to present. She said she's going to hold him accountable. I thought, oh my word, it don't sound good. And no, honestly, I hate to say this, Cuomo, if we can't get the one on the right side of it in there, I can't remember his name, but it's not looking very good. But then again, it sounds like it's going to be a ghost town. Time to leave, time to go. But don't. Because, I don't know. But I think Heatwave was talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think Jerry Jones is really thinking much about football anymore. Have you seen where he has dumped like $1 billion+ in oil and gas? More. I think Comstar, one of them big drilling out rigs. You seen that one, Steve?
I have not seen that. I guess for people that have lots of money, it's good to they say diversify, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. But.
Well, that's true too. But I just had to laugh. I thought, well, that should have been where he should have had most of his money and invested in the beginnings versus good day, bad day. We're going to lose this game, and hell, who's going to break a leg? But I got a couple more things. Here the other night, Eagle brought up something about how rough the sports was getting to be. I think we're just seeing more of it. You're going to have to help me on this one. I think he was, this is way back in the 80s. Remember when, I think he was Joe Theismann, one of them?
Right.
Did he not have his bone pop out all over national TV?
Yes,
I think
he did.
Was on ABC Sports on that game.
A gruesome, yeah.
And I thought, oh my God. But I did see a funny one about, and I can promote one of your sponsors. Yahoo News had something about how to dispose of old gasoline. Why in the world would you want to dispose of old gasoline? Why can't you just put stable with it and blend it up together and get it back to work? I read that. I had to put a caption on it. And I couldn't get anybody to hit on it, but I thought, perfect time to do some selling.
Yeah, I think the only problem with that, though, Plowboy, is once your gas goes bad, stable doesn't bring it back. Put stable in the fresh gas, and it keeps it from going bad for up to 2 years. I remember that discussion. Yeah, it just they ain't bringing back the bad gas. Get rid of it. All right. 2-time world champion bull hauler, are you the guilty party? Dodge City Police, they tell us, searching for the bull hauler responsible for causing thousands of dollars in damages Saturday morning. I know you were actually home then, right? The downtown area of Dodge City, Kansas, according to the police, the semi-truck pulling a cattle trailer crashed into multiple bollards, several thousands of dollars worth of damage before just driving away. Anyone with information asked to contact the Dodge City Police Department, or you can send them a tip through their Facebook Messenger, or use the Tip 411 app, Dodge City. It's 844-844-3388. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
At TEL, we know what it takes to succeed as an owner-operator because we were founded by one. The big secret? Affordable new trucks. New equipment keeps you moving, improves cash flow, and delivers reliability. For over 20 years, we've helped drivers take the next step in their careers. Call TEL at 866-404-6289 and use promo code OVERNIGHT100. We look forward to meeting you. Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Diesel owners know if you take care of your engine, it'll return the favor. Hot Shot secret formulates additives that help you prevent problems and boost performance. Diesel Extreme cleans internal and external injector deposits, and EDT increases fuel economy by up to 7.3%, scientifically proven by third-party testing. Add Hot Shot secret at your next fill-up to get the most out of your diesel. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Looking at some of the headlines, Shorty sending me a number of updates. Breitbart News reporting that apparently President Trump weighed in a little bit on this whole New York City election today, urging New York to vote for Andrew Cuomo. Why would he say such a thing? Well, because I guess in his mind, his understanding is it's a three-way race. And with Cuomo in the race, Sliwa can't win, so they say. And any vote for Sliwa is essentially a vote for Mamdani. So Cuomo, the lesser of two evils? Is that the thinking? Yeah. For months they've been saying Cuomo needed to drop out of the race because if it was a one-on-one with Sliwa versus Mamdani, he would actually have a chance of maybe prevailing there. They've got that really screwed up tabulation system there in New York, right? All right, see what Eagle has going on. Getting the new week started here. What's going on, Eagle?
Yeah, I want to talk about football, and maybe I'll call in later to talk about the latest news with this government strike, this government shutdown. But I wanted to focus on football tonight. Yeah, I couldn't call in last night. I'm gonna focus on Ohio right now. Where you at? They got the good side and the bad side of Ohio. First of all, I've seen Ohio State. That's the first time. Well, I've seen the first game against Texas, not all of it, but some of it I wasn't too impressed with Ohio State game one. But Ohio State is clearly the number one team in the nation. I watched the game against Penn State, and they destroyed them. They have advantages on defense. They got the quarterback. I didn't even realize, I didn't know that he had tried to go to Alabama, and he decided to get out when Saban decided to move out. The quarterback Ohio State has, he was supposed to go be playing for Alabama. But they got the receivers right now. Ohio State, they clearly the number one team. I don't think there's nobody. Maybe only Texas A&M hasn't really been tested yet. Indiana, like I told you a couple weeks, Indiana's nothing but they haven't played anybody. When they play somebody, they'll end up losing the ball game, just like they did last year. Something, Steve? Now I see why that coach in Indiana, when he made the move to decide to stay in Indiana, a lot of people said, "Wait a minute, why the hell didn't he move to a bigger school with a bigger name?" Now I know why. Because he can continue winning in that weak conference, and he don't have to go to the SEC. And I'll get to the SEC in a minute. But now, the good side of Ohio is Ohio State football. Because, like I said, they clearly the number one team. The bad side is Cincinnati, where you at. Very embarrassing loss. I watched the end of that ball game, the last 5 minutes of it. And, they talking about running the coach out of town. No, it's not the head coach's fault. He needs a defensive coordinator, and he needs some players.
Yeah.
They racking up points. When you score 40 points, 45 or whatever they score, Zach Taylor is the offensive coordinator. He's doing his job. He's putting points on the board. His defense is letting him down. They scored a touchdown late in the game, and then what do you know? Right after they do that, the team go right down the field and score right on them and end the game. And Cincinnati went on to lose the ball game. Like I said, firing Zach Taylor is not the answer in Cincinnati, if that's what people are thinking. He's not the problem. The defensive coordinator is the problem. He should have been fired a long time ago and get some of them defensive players. I don't know if you've seen that game, Steve, but there were three people that could have made the tackle on that man that caught the ball.
Yep.
And all three of them didn't do a damn thing.
Just bounced off of him.
Walked right past him into the end zone. Huh?
They bounced off of them. They didn't put their arms. You got to wrap them up and take them down. They're hitting him like they're going to knock him over.
Yeah, that's how you know it's poor coaching. Any top-notch defensive coach tell you have to wrap the man up. You can't just hit somebody and think you're gonna go down. And you saw what happened when they should have wrapped him up, and they would have won the ball game. So it falls on the defensive coordinator. And Zach Taylor, he's a good coach, and I hope he don't lose his job, but he might end losing. Because Cincinnati was supposed to be in the playoffs, and not looking too good right now for them unless they can figure out something on defense. Now, getting to the down south where I'm at. With the SEC. Now, this is getting to be ridiculous now, Steve, what's going on in the SEC. With all these coaches being fired, we got another guy who lose his job on Sunday night. Hugh Freeze down in Auburn, he got fired. They're not even allowing these coaches to finish the year no more. You know, it used to be they waited until, you know, they call it Black Friday, you know, like they do in the NFL. You know, they fire the guy at the end, you know, after the last game of the year, you know, they would be within 24 hours. Coaches would be being released. They don't even wait till the end of the year no more. They fire guys 4 and 5 games into the season, and you know, you got 4 coaches out of vacancies. You got Arkansas, you got LSU, you got Florida, and now you got the Auburn that's vacant. And here's the scary part about it: there's 2 other schools that are talking about running their coaches out of town. You got Kentucky; they not happy with their coach. Kentucky might be looking for a new man, and you got the man in South Carolina. They not happy with the job he's doing. So you could have up to 6 coaching vacancies in the SEC at the end of the year. In Alabama, that coach ain't off the hot seat yet, because I believe that's a trap game coming up this week against LSU with Alabama, because see, Alabama figured that LSU fired their coach and that they don't have to get prepared for the game, and they playing in their own stadium. They're making a very bad mistake if they thinking that way, because LSU, I believe they're gonna come in fired up, and they're gonna want to make a statement. And Alabama could easily lose that game if they don't come in ready. Because they don't have a coach don't mean LSU can't get fired up to play that game. So we'll see what happens on Saturday with that. But do you realize, Steve? We talked about this before. Do you realize how much money is being? I think they said over $100 million is being paid to these 4 coaches alone that have been terminated early. Over $100 million. That's way too much money to be paying people not to be working, not to be sitting on the couch. All 4 of these coaches are sitting on the couch right now, with buyouts, $30, $40, $50 million buyouts. Yep. Not to coach football no more. There's a problem.
I mean, isn't that living the high life? Yeah, 6 years, $51 million. You don't have to do a darn thing to earn it. Hey, hold that thought. Operate under your own authority. Choose your carrier. Tel gives you the freedom to run your business your way. Tel360.com.
Thinking about becoming your own boss? Transport Enterprise Leasing makes it easy with new trucks, 24/7 maintenance support, and now you can save right from the start. Use promo code OVERNIGHT100 to get $100 off your first lease payments. Call Tel today at 866-404-6289 or visit Tel360.com and take the first step toward owning your success. Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX-15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. Tired of the guesswork when it comes to your load weight? With RightWay, stay in control on the road and on the DOT's good side. From onboard load scales to Bluetooth-enabled monitoring, RightWay helps truckers and fleets cut down on time, fines, and fuel waste, all without hitting the scale. Smarter hauling starts here. Want more details? Head over to rwls.com. RightWay. Drive more, scale less. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
Schumer and Jeffries and their colleagues fear political retribution from the far-left activists in their party.
House Speaker Mike Johnson is standing firm with Republicans as the government shutdown is set to become the longest in U.S. history as of tomorrow.
Republicans need at least 7 Democrats to join us. We only have 53 Republicans in the Senate. It takes 60 votes to reopen the government in the Senate. The House did its job September 19th. We're waiting on the Senate to get this done.
The Senate votes tomorrow, while SNAP funds have run out and courts have permitted limited federal payments to continue. Earlier today, Whoopi Goldberg got upset on The View after a co-host passed her a correction note regarding President Trump's CBS 60 Minutes interview after Goldberg suggested Trump use an auto pen.
What the hell? What?
I love when Sonny passes notes.
We don't know if Trump used an auto pen to part. It was a joke.
Yes.
Goldberg tore up that note, saying her comment about Trump's pardon of Binance founder Changpeng Zhao was a joke and lamented that nuance is lost in today's media. Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, is pushing for cameras in court during the trial of her husband's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson. The defense wants cameras banned in order to protect Robinson's right to a fair trial.
We deserve to have cameras in there. Why not be transparent? There's nothing to hide. I know there's not, because I've seen what the case is built on.
While appearing on Fox News, Kirk says the public deserves to see what true evil is. Robinson is facing murder charges and could get the death penalty if convicted. A judge has permitted him to wear civilian clothes but remain shackled, while media coverage of his restraints is limited. Experts say Utah law favors courtroom transparency. Stocks closed mixed.
At the closing bell, the Dow fell 226 points, the S&P 500 rose 11 points, and the Nasdaq gained 110 points. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
With all the recent violent protests, looting, and destruction, some areas are considering either defunding or abolishing the police. At a time when America's neighborhoods need the protection of police the most, some elected officials would rather create more chaos by playing politics. If you're sick of elected officials caving in to demands of the radical left, you're not alone. It's time we stand up and declare our support for local police. The majority of police officers are important partners in protecting our God-given rights. If you prefer freedom over chaos, then learn how you can help protect the local police that serve your community. Call today and request your free Support Your Local Police info packet. Dial 800-JBS-USA-1. That's 800-JBS-USA-1. Request your free Support Your Local Police info packet by calling 800-JBS-USA-1 today.
During the course of the sexual battery, the defendant used or threatened to use a deadly weapon. So say we all this third day of November 2025.
In Miami, 66-year-old Robert Kohler, known as the pillowcase rapist, has been found guilty on 4 counts, including armed kidnapping and sexual battery. Jurors took just 90 minutes to convict him.
The jury verdict of guilty, the court will adjudicate Mr. Kohler guilty of the charges, all 4 charges.
He faces life in prison at sentencing on November 24th. Authorities believe Kohler has been involved in as many as 45 rapes since the 1980s. California Attorney General Rob Bonta and 20 other states are suing the Education Department over new rules for public service loan forgiveness.
So let's be clear about what's really happening. Trump and McMahon want to reward loyalists and punish those who dare to speak out against him, to force us to bend to Trump's whims and bend the knee.
They say the Trump administration's changes unfairly limit eligibility. The rules are meant to restore the program's original intent, take effect in July 2026. Homeless youth who get health care for their pets are more likely to get health care for themselves.
Research by Washington State University and the University of Washington found that 80% of homeless youth got medical care when 69% of the time they were only getting care for their pets. Wazoo and UW offer a clinic twice a month for homeless youth that includes both human and veterinary care. The study examined clinic visits from 2019 through 2022. I'm Brad Ford.
And I'm Anthony Lucero, USA Radio News.
In a study, it was found that 33% of 44 herbal supplements had no trace of the advertised herb. Don't let that happen to you. Hi, this is Dr. Mitch. If you want to ensure quality, go to TotalWellness.com. Supplements made for physicians, only now available to you too. TotalWellness.com, helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
With Transport Enterprise Leasing, you're in the driver's seat, literally. Choose your carrier or operate under your own authority and drive a truck that works as hard as you do. Ready to roll? Use promo code OVERNIGHT100 and get $100 off your first lease payment. Call TEL now at 866-404-6289. That's 866-404-6289. And let's get you on the road to ownership. Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
All right, we get a new day underway. Yeah, you made it through the hard part. Monday in the rearview mirror. Turn the page on the calendar, 4th day of November already. Thanks for joining us. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. All right, other industry headlines coming your way as we roll into another hour here. Yeah, we were talking a little sports action with the Eagle there, and apparently I saw a local headline this past day where Zach Taylor, the Bengals coach, says he's standing by, sticking with his defensive coordinator. Al Golden, I believe is his name, pretty much came right out and said that there's not going to be any changes to the coaching staff. Even with, we've seen back-to-back games where Cincinnati scored 38 or more points, losing both games. And according to the records, that hasn't happened since like 1966. Putting points on the board, but losing the games.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's going to end up costing Zach Taylor his job in the long. You know, Steve, it's what you call coaching loyalty, what Taylor's doing. He's being loyal to his defensive coordinator. But I guess he figures he's going to go down with the ship. Rather than trying to save his own job, because if he continues to let that guy coach his defense the rest of the year, not only is that defensive coach going to be out of a job, Zach Taylor's going to be out of a job. So I think he's making a bad decision. If I was him, I'd go ahead and release him and try to find somebody else so I can keep my job. And the defensive guy, he'll find a job somewhere else. But he's clearly not getting the job done in Cincinnati. I think I've seen it happen to coaches before. So Zach Taylor's making a very bad decision by being loyal to that guy, as far as I'm concerned. Now, getting back to this college situation, Steve, for years, people talked about college athletes making money, and I was one of those people that said that. But no, yeah, it's okay, but they making too much money now. You got guys making millions of dollars. This boy down here in Texas, where I live at, Arch Manning, the Manning family, I think he's making $2 to $3 million. He's making more money than some of the pro players in professional football. No college athlete deserves to be making that type of money, because all you do is you spoil these kids, and they don't want to play hard, they don't want to work out, they don't want to practice, because they got the fancy sports car in the parking lot, a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or whatever they're driving, and their heart is not in it like it used to be in the old days, where they were fighting. They were fighting for everything they could to get to the NFL, because that's where the jackpot was. That's where the big money was. Now you don't have to make it to the NFL. You can hit the jackpot in college now, Steve. So I think that's affecting the game with the way these players, and as far as the coaches go, I've even seen it affecting the coaches now with the money that they make. You got Dabo Sweeney down at Clemson. He literally begging to be fired. He did an interview on Saturday after he lost his game, and he told the guy who's his boss man. He said if I was you, he said I'd fire me myself after the game we played. So because he knows if he quits, he won't get that buyout money. So Dabo Sweeney is basically begging the man that runs the school at Clemson to fire him. He said that, like I said, the way we played this game today, I deserve to be fired. Now, who said something like that? So these coaches realize that they're going to get that big jackpot if they get fired. So I think it's even affecting the coaches. They're not coaching hard. They're not trying to get the team motivated. because they say, oh, what the hell, these guys don't want to play. I don't care. I'm going to get my $10, $20, $30 million buyout and go off into the sunset. That's what I think the attitude of a lot of coaches are now. It is not a good sign with the big money. You see what happened to Nick Saban down in Alabama. He just walked off into the sunset. He was making big money, and he just decided to quit out of nowhere. He caught everybody by surprise. You know, people say, how can you quit a job making $10, $15, $20 million a year and go sit on the side? He just walked away because he had all that big money. And the money is affecting the sports now, as far as I'm concerned. Now, as far as let's get to this other situation, I hated to see it, Steve. I didn't get a chance to call in last night. You know, I'm not no Toyota fan. You know, I didn't watch all of the NASCAR race, but I was pulling for Denny Hamlin, you know, to pull off the championship. You know, he came up short again, came in second in the championship to Kyle Larson. He was devastated. You know, I don't know how much longer he gonna continue in the sport, but he was devastated that he couldn't pull it off. You know, so I feel bad for him and his team. Because he really tried to win it this year, and things didn't go the way quite as good as he wanted to. Kyle Larson won his second championship, so we'll see what happens with Denny. You know, I'm pretty sure he'll come back next year, but he said he 4 to 5 years. I don't know how much his future, but I still believe he's gonna win a championship before it's all said and done with Denny Hamlin. Now, one quick note, right quick, Steve, before I hang out with you all, getting back to the politics situation. I think they just said in your news break when I was listening, and it's a complete embarrassment. Do you realize, I think you know, they said that tomorrow will be the longest that we as the government has ever been shut down. Tomorrow will be the record.
Yep.
Did you hear him say that, Steve?
That is correct.
That's a damn...
Yep.
Yeah, that's a damn shame that we're about to set a record for most days that the government has been shut down. The Democrats are not even trying to come to the table. They're not even trying to negotiate a deal. While millions of Americans are suffering because of these Democrats and the Schummers and the AOCs and people like that. They really ought to be ashamed of themselves for the way they behave, and just in spite of Donald Trump. That's what it all boils down. They hate Donald Trump so much they don't want to see his government do good. They're doing everything they can to shut it down and make Donald Trump to look bad. This is mainly before the midterms. You know what I mean, Steve? They trying to make Trump look bad before the midterm vote in 26, so people won't vote for Trump because they think it's his fault, or they dumb enough to think it's his fault. So I believe it's just been done on purpose. And here's the scary part about it, Steve. A couple of weeks ago, I thought that this thing might end, but I think we might be talking about this come January 2026. I don't know. Maybe you can answer that after I hang up with you, but I don't see this thing ending in the next 2 months in November and December. And I'd like to see what you think. Do you think we be talking about this in January 2026? And I thank you for taking my call.
All right. Yeah. No, I don't see it going that long. The pressure's going to be on today. It's you mentioned earlier. See how these the election results come in later today, and that'll give us a little bit of a barometer of the direction people are leaning. But I think in fairly short order, they've got to get something done. The pressure is really growing when you've got big Democrat supporters, the union leadership saying, come on, you got the airline union saying, just pass the clean resolution. Get the government reopened. All this other stuff can be negotiated after the fact. Pressure really, growing on the left. But you mentioned Denny Hamlin. I had seen a headline, and oftentimes, something on social media, and I didn't know if it was factual or not, so I didn't mention it last evening. The quote was, supposedly Denny Hamlin, after the race, had said, in this moment, I never want to race a car ever again. My fun meter is pegged. I thought, no, surely he didn't say that. He did. That was actually a true statement. Speaking after the race, Denny said, we're 40 seconds from a championship. It's unfortunately the only difference before is the cautions came maybe a little sooner than that. I mean, gosh, you work so hard. This sport can drive you absolutely crazy because sometimes speed, talent, all that stuff just doesn't matter. His father, they say, was not in attendance at the race, and Hamlin knew Sunday was, for all practical purposes, the last chance for his dad to see him win. Did the best I could. Everything I really prepared happened. I prepared for it. It all happened today. I felt like we responded. Did well on restarts. Yeah, we hadn't been good on restarts most of the year. Team brought us a great championship car. I felt like I drove it just right up to 2 laps to go. That's the part that really stinks. Obviously, he was very emotional during the pre-race interview. He said that he felt composed during the race, controlled most of the race, except for a time when he had a flat tire under caution, and the ensuing lengthy pit stop dropped him to 11th. Despite leading 208 of 319 laps, unable to rally in the overtime, even with the 4 fresh tires. Coming up short, behind a good friend in Kyle Larson. Yeah, Kyle has the trophy, he said, but we dominated. We did our job. We did the best we could. What can you say? Yeah, they're a championship team, a championship driver. They're going to win a hell of a lot more than just these two, he predicted. When everyone had to bring their best, I think it's pretty evident who was the best today. Yeah, Larson would agree, and as a good friend, he knows how much this hurts, according to Hamlin. All right, but he did say there's a piece of me that's sad for him. I'm sure all of us here, even the Denny haters, I'm sure there's a spot where they're sad too. That's competition. That's the format. It's just weird, but I still hope someday he can get to feel what it's like. Of course, his team owner, Joe Gibbs, was at a similar loss for words. All of Hamlin's Cup victories have come for Gibbs. And Hamlin's challenged for Cup titles since as early as back in 2010. Gibbs said it's a heartbreak. I think there's much else to say. We did our best. There are some things you just can't control. All right, so but in this moment, he said, I never want to race a car again. Obviously, the emotions. I do believe he's got, doesn't he have 2 more years under contract, 2 more years to race? Yeah, he may have additional opportunities, but poor Denny. It is 844-844-3388.
Ready to take the wheel of your future? With Transport Enterprise Leasing, you could start for just $500 down. Get new equipment, expert support, and a path to ownership, all with one of the lowest upfront costs in the industry. Whether you're starting out or leveling up, TEL is here to help you succeed. Visit tel360.com or call 866-404-6289. Use promo code overnight100 to get rolling today. Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout.
Diesel owners know if you take care of your engine, it'll return the favor. Hot Shot secret formulates additives that help you prevent problems and boost performance. Diesel Extreme cleans internal and external injector deposits, and EDT increases fuel economy by up to 7.3%, scientifically proven by third-party testing. Add Hot Shot secret at your next fill-up to get the most out of your diesel. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Back in the world of trucking, this was part of our discussion last evening. We were talking to the Grump. We were talking about ELDs, which were shoved down your throats in the name of safety. Undoubtedly have not improved safety. Landline this past day, interesting breakdown. Vehicle technology, including on heavy-duty trucks. It has saved lives over the decades. However, jumping the gun on new technology can have adverse effects. Unintended consequences. Something the FMCSA needs to keep in mind for future regulations. There is no doubt Class A trucks today are safer than they were 10, 15, 20 plus years ago. Features like electronic and roll stability control, traction control, with differential locks, tire pressure monitoring systems, have made it easier for drivers to operate safely. Obviously, the most efficient, effective path to safer roads is proper driver training. But even experienced drivers are still human. Some advances in vehicle technology and design have mitigated some of the human flaws. Other vehicle safety technologies have not, despite the best intentions. Take electronic logging devices, for example. The ELD mandate in the name of safety that went in effect December of 2017, since which time the crash data has shown no correlation between ELDs and safer highways. In fact, fatalities in large truck crashes increased every year after 2017, except for 2020, when the pandemic saw a big drop in the number of vehicles on the road. Well, the FMCSA could make the same mistake with automatic emergency braking systems. The technology is almost there, but almost isn't good enough when it comes to vehicle safety technology. Safety advocates supporting the automatic emergency braking mandate for heavy-duty trucks, they point to a wealth of data showing the technology's benefits, largely based on studies that look at several variables without controlling for automatic emergency braking. They also do not account for real-world experiences. It was back in October of 23. We had reported Carrie Moore found herself in a life-threatening situation with her truck's automatic emergency braking system. In snowy conditions, the system was tricked into thinking a guardrail was a crash threat. The brakes automatically kicked in, causing the truck to jackknife on an icy road. It was a fool application, according to Moore, that sent the truck sideways I barely kept it out of the media. The only thing that saved me was hearing the voices of my parents, who were both truck drivers. They taught me the last thing you want to do in that situation is hit the brakes. Instead, you tap the gas to get out of it. Other truckers have reported their automatic emergency braking equipped trucks suddenly stopping for no reason in the middle of the highway in some cases. As a matter of fact, the FMCSA and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration issued a proposed rulemaking to require automatic emergency braking on heavy trucks, despite the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration having just launched an investigation into that technology on Daimler trucks. That investigation initially found Daimler Trucks North America had received more than 300 reports, possibly related to an automatic emergency braking defect. That includes 13 injury incidents and 1 fatal incident. Some trucks were getting false positives, causing them to brake for no reason. Now, at highway speeds, that could be a fatal problem. Whatever happened to that investigation? Well, on October 23rd, the Highway Traffic Safety Administration closed the preliminary evaluation and escalated to an engineering analysis. In other words, the agency found that a real safety issue might exist, so they're digging deeper to get to the bottom of it. Yet nearly 2.5 years later, still have no definitive answer, have not found out whether automatic emergency braking is actually safe on certain trucks. That alone should give the FMCSA reason to put any proposed mandate on hold right now. All the studies presented by safety groups are convincing, but not entirely without merit. No doubt automatic emergency braking is beneficial in low-speed urban situations. Eventually, the technology will have the same efficacy on the highways, but we're not there yet. Until we are, any mandate would be premature and potentially fatal. Requiring these on trucks while an investigation into the issue is still active, that would be irresponsible. Several lawmakers have sounded the alarm. Representative Mike Collins of Georgia, who actually owns a trucking company. From someone who runs a little over 100 trucks, I've tried those automatic systems, and we pulled them off our trucks. They're not fail-proof. If you're ever in a truck going 65 miles an hour down the interstate loaded with 80,000 gross, and your truck just all of a sudden slams on the brakes and there's no reason other than the bridge ahead or the construction flashing sign, then you'll understand these things are not fail-proof. We don't need them mandated until they are. Because the car behind you, they don't know why you slammed on the brakes either. Well, there we stand. Hey, we'll get a news break. First, get behind the wheel of a new truck with Tell's flexible lease options and full factory warranties. Learn more at tell360.com.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is warning of more air traffic disruptions as the government shutdown continues.
During an appearance on CBS Face the Nation, Duffy said passenger safety remains the top priority. The FAA is reporting understaffing at several airports as air traffic controllers are working without pay during the government shutdown. Major airlines have begun to call on Congress to end the shutdown and pay air traffic controllers. Delta, United, American, and Southwest are urging the U.S. Senate to immediately pass a clean continuing resolution that would pay federal employees. I'm Mark Mayfield.
President Trump says he doubts the U.S. will go to war with Venezuela.
He was asked about the possibility during an interview with CBS 60 Minutes.
I don't think so, but they've been treating us very badly, not only on drugs. They've dumped hundreds of thousands of people into our country that we didn't want. People from prisons, they emptied their prisons into our country.
When he was asked, Trump wouldn't say if he was considering land strikes in Venezuela. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
From America's News Network, this is USA Radio News.
Hey, I'm Brant, and her name is Sherry.
Hello.
She's a friend of mine whom we were just praying for because of a surgery she just went through.
Yes, and I am very happy about something you actually talk about all the time, which is
Medishare.
That is right.
Yeah. So what was your experience like with Medishare and the healthcare bills?
Honestly, Brant, seamless. And what a blessing that is when you're already nervous about a health issue, which I was.
Yeah.
Members shared my expenses. There were zero problems. And let me tell you, having people pray with you when you call in with your need, that is just...
It is refreshing.
Yes, that's what it is.
What I keep telling people, people love Medishare, and they love saving money. A typical family can save $500 a month.
I am very thankful for Medishare. It is so different, and I mean different in a very, very good way.
It is good different. Call now. They're easy to talk to, and you can get a price within 2 minutes. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
At TEL, we know what it takes to succeed as an owner-operator because we were founded by one. The big secret? Affordable new trucks. New equipment keeps you moving, improves cash flow, and delivers reliability. For over 20 years, we've helped drivers take the next step in their careers. Call TEL at 866-404-6289 and use promo code OVERNIGHT100. We look forward to meeting you.
Hello, Big T here with Diesel Power Group. Listen, if your truck's in a repair center and you think it's being misdiagnosed or worse, being overcharged for an overhaul or an engine replacement, you need to stop and call Diesel Power Group now. Allow us to build the DPG solution that is right for you, not the repair center. We have over 4 decades in engine remanufacturing experience and specialize in Caterpillar, Cummins, Detroit, Mack, International, and John Deere. DPG offers an industry-leading warranty and turnaround times. We want to earn your trust every day. Don't believe us? Challenge us today by calling 574-594-5888 or visit us at dieselpowergroup.com and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We are available 24/7. Mention code 374 and receive a $200 rebate towards your major failure repair.
We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. And more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
All right, the roundup continues around the country. Latest update out of Houston, Texas this morning, where more than 120 illegal aliens arrested on Texas roadways in the greater Houston area in a single day. The operation that stretched into the late hours, October 29, cleared the roads of often unlicensed and uninsured illegal aliens, according to Immigration and Customs Enforcement. a social media post Sunday showing a video of ICE enforcement and removal operations officers carrying out the arrest in a parking lot near a Houston area business, and several vehicle stops, describing the activities with a statement saying, "We made over 120 arrests in Houston, clearing our roads of dangerous, often uninsured, illegal aliens who should not be behind the wheel." ERO officers and other federal agents in the greater Houston area have ramped up both day and nighttime operations in targeted operations, resulting in multiple arrests of illegal aliens around local businesses and on Houston roadways. During one nighttime sweep just days before this latest operation, one of Breitbart's reporters, Bob Price, did a ride-along with a team of 40 federal officers and agents as they arrested approximately 25 illegals, many with criminal records. Moving through the high-crime corridors, we observed the officers and agents, now armed with a new data-driven targeting system that seemed to send a clear message. ICE is now a 24/7 presence in Texas. On this night, despite a torrential downpour, the weather was no deterrent for the agents in completing their assigned mission. The enhanced ICE operations have caused panic among Houston's illegal alien population. According to the Migration Policy Institute report, an estimated 500,000 illegal aliens are believed to reside in the greater Houston area. That was as of 2019. During one recent operation, October 27, ICE arrested Marlon Odir Gomez Hernandez, a 29-year-old illegal suspected MS-13 gang member from El Salvador, as he became precariously stuck on the sign of a Houston area business attempting to flee officers. He was encountered during a targeted enforcement operation, fled from agents trying to avoid arrest, ran inside a local washateria, climbed through the ceiling panels to get on the roof of the business, then climbed down to the sign hanging on the wall where he became stuck. Luckily, agents were able to pull him to safety, likely saving his life. Now, they say Gomez had a good reason to run. He entered the U.S. on an unknown date after he was arrested in El Salvador with 6 other suspected MS-13 gang members in 2022 for aggravated extortion. All right, see what Vic has on his mind this Tuesday. What's happening, Vic?
Oh, really not a whole lot of anything. Just kind of, I was working on my HVAC system and everything, and essentially I got it fixed just as we're entering the heating system. And I found out a lot of interesting things about that. I know now why those heat pumps are such an energy hog, because in the wintertime where we live, up here in Indianapolis, they actually have to have a crankcase heater to heat up the refrigerant. So that thing's running pretty well constant. And then there's a whole bunch of other things. I was amazed at how they're building those things. So when they're talking all about the environment and energy conservation and basically building up the grid, I think they need to do a lot of re-engineering on things. But what I really called about there was, you were talking about the trucking industry last night, and the best way that if you want to see how the trucking industry went downhill You can go back and look up the logistics group that kept Patton's army going and allowed him to go at such a fast pace. And it was codenamed Red Ball Express. And it had mostly white officers, and they had planned it and everything. And they had the Negro drivers that made the whole thing work. But the interesting part about that was a lot of those people, once World War II was over, they actually started various trucking companies and started applying those principles of, keeping the equipment maintained, planning out your route, and all this. And one of the companies that they started was Yellow Transportation. And right. And so if you just go back to the Red Ball Express and then how they started Yellow, and we all know what happened to Yellow, and the philosophy had changed absolutely 100%. So I guess that's about the quickest real world example that I could think of offhand there. But the other thing was, Nancy Pelosi's decided to retire, and I'm wondering if she ever figured out what was in the Affordable Care Act. She said we had to pass it so she would know what's in it.
Yep.
Well, what I'm trying to figure out, if she hasn't figured it out, I haven't either, because we know that it wasn't up to speed for the pandemic, for the COVID pandemic. So they tried to patch it up a little bit there, and I don't think it worked all that well. But they put those extra subsidies in it. And if you remember back to time, they said this Affordable Care Act, they were going to save all these different families so much money on their insurance premium. And if you liked your plan, you could keep it.
Yep.
And if you liked your doctor, you could keep it.
Yep.
Well, none of that came to pass. So now they're arguing about that here on the government shutdown. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is, what exactly do the Democrats want, and when are they going to discuss the repairing of the Affordable Care Act, if they want to hang on to that, because something's definitely went wrong with our health care system. And the other thing is, the other excuse they're using is about this SNAP program and nutritional programs. And I don't really think that anybody's putting their mind to at least alleviating the pain and suffering. And they keep talking about our military, some of those guys in these food bank lines. But, well, that's something that shouldn't even ever happen, because that projects weakness when other leaders around the world and look at that and say, well, the military can't even feed their own people. Well, that was part of my duties there was food inspection. And like I think I mentioned, I used to inspect all those different food stores, the stored food, I should say. And then I know there were several of those caves out around Kansas City. I don't know if they still have food in them or not. And I don't know if any of the drivers out there are still delivering to all those caves. They had a bunch there at Springfield, Missouri. They used to haul baby food in and out of there all the time. That Infamil and all that stuff that the dope dealers were trying to steal. That was an interesting situation. I never expected to have baby food would be a secure load, but that's the way it was treated at one time. So, but the military, they have a whole food distribution system, and they have their commissaries, and they also have their chow halls. So I find it hard to believe that the military can't sit down and think about this and at least tell their military that, if you're not getting paid, you can go to the commissary or you can go to the chow hall. You will be fed,
Mm-hmm.
So it just, I don't think the Republicans are really thinking about this, because I know there are solutions that can get them past that, and it's such a projection of weakness to let other people around the world say, well, the United States can't even feed their military. And a lot of them are in high cost areas overseas. So it doesn't help us get a whole lot of allies or encouragement or anything of that nature. Then they look over there like China. Russia has a little bit more of a problem. And it's like, China says, well, we have all this money, and we can do this, this, and this, and this. So I'm really kind of curious. What is the Democrats' goal other than the fact they want to mess up Donald Trump and don't want him to have any sort of success? And like I think last night I mentioned, they were talking about on the macroeconomic level how much it was costing us on our gross domestic product. And the other part is, I don't know why the Treasury Secretary isn't coming out and saying, well, this is also reducing our tax revenue because we don't have this extra economic activity. So we can't pay down our debt. We can't pay other stuff because we're not generating the tax revenue. I mean, it's just unbelievable that these people are so dedicated to making sure that Trump is not successful. And it's hard to believe that they would be that obsessed with him. So I don't know if they're all scared to death that they're going to have to face the music of what they've done over the last 20 years or so. So that was the other point that I wanted to make. Was that I'm more confused about why they're even allowing this to go on for this long, and to say you have to accept another, what is they're saying, $1.5 trillion of expenses.
Yes. Before
we're going to cooperate with you. I mean, I won't go into other different things, but I know in the air industry, my son works for it, and his current, I guess you'd say, companion or whatever now, she works for one of these companies that does all the different contract work for some of the smaller carriers that can't maintain a complete, I guess, maintenance crew and everything on every, at every airport or wherever they go. And so she's not even sure she's going to be able to hang on to the job because a lot of the airlines that have to hire these contract people rather than having their own people do it, they're starting to cut back. So I'm really just not exactly sure where we're going, but all I can say is that the longer they keep the government shut down, the worse it's going to get. And when it gets opened back up, maybe Nancy Pelosi can tell them how they need to repair or what she doesn't think should be in the Affordable Care Act.
I won't hold my breath on that happening, but all right, Vic, thank you for chiming in. And realistically, for those who pay any attention, we're just hearing the exact same thing, the same sound bites, day after day after day. You see, that the House Speaker, the same statements he was making 2 weeks ago. We have voted. At that time, it might have been 8 or 9 times. Now it's 13. We voted to reopen the government. We need 60 votes. We only have 53. I mean, the opposite side saying the exact same thing. I think we've heard where you stand enough already. Just open the damn government. It's rather nauseating. Meanwhile, it's earnings season, as we say. A lot of big earnings reports last week. This is yet another big week. More earnings coming down the pike. She had Berkshire Hathaway this past day. Palantir, Hims. What do we have coming up here on a Tuesday? Earnings from Uber, AMD, Spotify. Wednesday, we'll get the earnings from McDonald's, Robinhood, and Unity. Thursday, Airbnb, DraftKings, D-Wave, all in the mix. Meanwhile, the trade talks between the U.S. and Canada are technically still on ice, apparently, according to Breitbart. Following one of Canada's provinces that ran ads attacking the tariffs, you'll recall, after the ads went live, President Trump said he wouldn't be making any trade deals. Of course, Canada's prime minister agreed to take the ads down, hoping to get back to the negotiating table. But as of Monday, apparently that hasn't happened yet. Volkswagen stock taking a hit last week after the company said it expects to lose out on about $1 billion from tariffs. The German automaker, which also owns Audi and Porsche, having trouble finding enough chips for their cars as well. If they're unable to get the chips they need, they warn their losses could actually grow even larger. Meanwhile, Amazon. When Amazon announced layoffs last week, recall many experts said a lot of this had to do with artificial intelligence taking these jobs. But the company's CEO says that that's not the case. Instead, he said it's about the culture and the fact that Amazon grew a lot during the pandemic. Simply do not need as many people now. Makes sense. 844-844-3388.
Ready to take the wheel of your future? With Transport Enterprise Leasing, you can start for just $500 down. Get new equipment, expert support, and a path to ownership, all with one of the lowest upfront costs in the industry. Whether you're starting out or leveling up, TEL is here to help you succeed. Visit tel360.com or call 866-404-6289. Use promo code OVERNIGHT100 to get rolling today. Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
fuel additives.
Most fuel additives either impact performance or provide protection. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment provides both performance enhancement and fuel system protection. Everyday Diesel Treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday Diesel Treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com.
Vic also mentioned Nancy Pelosi, some speculating that she may soon step into retirement. NBC News reporting this past day that her fellow Democrats are, quote, bracing for her retirement. Supposed to make an announcement about her future after today's elections, when voters will consider a ballot measure known as Proposition 50 that would redraw the state's congressional lines. Pelosi's a prominent proponent of the plan, which, of course, Democrats hope would net them several seats in next year's midterm elections. They cited Democrat sources who reportedly believe she will not seek re-election next year. One House Democrat from California said they wish she would stay for another decade, but I think she's out. She's going to go out with Prop 50 overwhelmingly passing, and what a crowning achievement for her to do that. Another House Democrat leadership aide said, I think she's preparing to exit the stage. Yeah, meanwhile, the most radical legislator in leftist California, State Senator Scott Wiener of San Francisco, is preparing to challenge Pelosi in a primary. Reporting that that's an apparent attempt to force her into retirement. What the hell? She's 85 years old to begin with. I mean, should have retired a long time ago. What do you say, Grump?
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah, she should have gave it up a long time ago. But she's one of them that legacy means more to her than actually getting anything done. And you pretty much said it there. I got to step out. Hey, can you put me on hold for just about 3 minutes here?
Yes.
I got to step out here.
Absolutely.
I got an issue with
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Take care of business. We'll do that. All right. So, yeah, we got a couple minutes before news break anyway. We'll come back to the Grump. Several space-related stories. The International Space Station, they tell us, apparently just notched a major milestone, but its days are numbered. This past Sunday, marked the 25th anniversary of continuous human occupation of the ISS, which has carved out a spot in the history books as one of our species' grandest and most expensive technological achievements. Now, don't save any confetti for a semi-centennial celebration. The space station is in its home stretch as we speak. NASA and its partners are planning to deorbit the aging outpost toward the end of 2030, they tell us, using a modified, extra burly version of SpaceX's Dragon cargo capsule to bring it down over an uninhabited stretch of ocean. And not just any stretch. The spacecraft cemetery, as they call it, a patch of the Pacific centered on Point Nemo, named after the famous submarine captain in Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, a very remote ocean location, 1,670 miles from the nearest land, I guess, in any direction. All right. Rolling up on the midnight hour on the West Coast. Lease with Tel and enjoy affordable payments and support that keeps you running smooth anywhere in the continental U.S. Learn more at tel360.com.
Ready to take the wheel of your future? With Transport Enterprise Leasing, you could start for just $500 down. Get new equipment, expert support, and a path to ownership, all with one of the lowest upfront costs in the industry. Whether you're starting out or leveling up, Tel is here to help you succeed. Visit tel360.com or call 866-404-6289. Use promo code overnight100 to get rolling today. Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX-15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout.
Diesel owners know if you take care of your engine, it'll return the favor. Hot Shot Secret formulates additives that help you prevent problems and boost performance. Diesel Extreme cleans internal and external injector deposits, and EDT increases fuel economy by up to 7.3%, scientifically proven by third-party testing. Add Hot Shot Secret at your next fill-up to get the most out of your diesel. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. One of California's U.S. senators is expressing hope that the government shutdown talks might progress with President Trump back in the nation.
Trump has returned from Asia. However, Burbank Democrat Adam Schiff says there's no guarantee as negotiations have been stalled for some time. Democrats and Republicans remain at an impasse primarily due to Democratic demands for health care provisions, including extensions of COVID-19 subsidies and the reversal of Medicaid cuts. Republicans insist they are submitting a clean bill that would continue funding the government without any changes. I'm Phil Hewlett.
President Trump is again addressing a possible third term.
He was asked about the possibility during an interview with CBS 60 Minutes.
Well, I don't even think about it. I will tell you, a lot of people want me to run, but the difference between us and the Democrats is we really do have a strong bench.
He added he wouldn't use names because it's too early, while also saying he likes Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Last week, House Speaker Mike Johnson said he doesn't see the path for a third Trump term. Meanwhile, former Trump strategist Steve Bannon said Trump will be president in 2028. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Illegal crossings at the southern border keep climbing, with September arrests nearly doubling July. Texas Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland says his deputies are assisting Border Patrol.
Over the last 3 days, 6 or 7 groups crossed the border out this way.
He notes that under President Trump, those caught are being sent home, not released into the U.S. A top Heritage Foundation staffer, Ryan Neuhaus, has resigned after defending President Kevin Roberts, who faced backlash for supporting Tucker Carlson following his interview with Nick Fuentes. Roberts condemned the views of Fuentes that some have called anti-Semitic, which is drawing criticism from Senators McConnell and Cruz. Stocks closed mixed.
At the closing bell, the Dow fell 226 points, the S&P 500 rose 11 points, and the Nasdaq gained 110 points. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
From America's News Network USA Radio News.
Hi, it's Mark Falter, host of the Financial Fitness Show. I strongly believe that no one should ever pay 1 penny more in taxes than they are legally obligated. Unfortunately, for most hardworking Americans, this just isn't the case. Why? Because most people spend more time planning next weekend's getaway than trying to ensure they're going to pay less in taxes. My financial fitness team has put together some materials that I know are going to help you. It's the Tax Savings Kit. Tax Savings Kit includes 3 things: free tax analysis, top 10 ways to pay less in taxes, and an investor's guide to taxes. Now, how do you get it? Simple. 866-764-2635. Again, 866-764-2635. I'm Mark Falter. This is Financial Fitness, making personal finance profitable.
An Arab American civil rights group is suing California over a new law intended to protect Jewish students from discrimination. Assemblywoman Dawn Addis.
Ensuring that every student, Jewish students and others, have the best learning environment that the Golden State has to offer.
Supporters say it curbs harassment, but critics call it vague and a threat to free speech, claiming it would criminalize the criticism of Israel. Leaf season has arrived. Raking can strain your back, neck, and shoulders.
Posture and form is very important. I think a lot of the times people go and do these actions in trying to accomplish a task without realizing how they're standing, how they're moving, how they're distributing their weight.
Dr. Trishul Kapoor is a pain medication specialist at Cleveland Clinic. He advises stretching, wearing flexible clothes, keeping your knees bent, and using short strokes. If you feel pain, rest, ice, and use over-the-counter medications carefully. If you have persistent pain, please see a doctor.
To buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees.
The first Coca-Cola holiday flavor in 5 years is hitting the shelves.
The soda company says Coca-Cola Holiday Creamy Vanilla is a festive twist on the classic taste that delivers comfort, refreshment, and seasonal joy. The flavor is described as a delicious taste of Coca-Cola infused with smooth, creamy vanilla flavors. It'll be available in both regular and zero zero sugar versions. I'm Michael Kastner.
And I'm Anthony Lucero, USA Radio News.
Many Americans are currently celebrating the election of Donald J. Trump. If you'd like a deep dive look into the mass movement behind his political success, visit TrumpWorld.net to get your complimentary digital copy of the Trump World Bookazine from the New American. It's a 96-page special collector's edition, and for a limited time you can receive the digital edition for free. Visit TrumpWorld.net today for your free digital copy of Trump World. That's Trump
Transport Enterprise Leasing, founded by a U.S. Army veteran, proudly supports those who've served. Veterans receive a $750 discount on their lease deposit with 24/7 maintenance support, national parts discounts, and interest-free financing. TEL is committed to your success. Call 866-404-6289 and use promo code OVERNIGHT100 or visit tel360.com. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
And now, back to the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
All right, for our West Coast friends, welcome into a Tuesday. Turn the page, 4th day of November, coming your way. All right, take two. Welcome back, Grump.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Sorry about that. I had a little battle with a lumper back there where I unloaded at, and you know, I swear they got that damn girl. She may not be the dumbest damn lumper there, but she better hope the dumbest one don't die, because she's damn sure at the bat. You know, they want you to pay by card. We will not accept cash. You got to pay by a card. And you know, lumper fee was $103, something like that. But she wanted to charge me an additional $13 as a convenience fee. I said, no, I ain't paying that. I said, you the one wanting this damn card, not me. You know, I can pay you cash. No, we don't take cash. We take this. And I said, well, tough. Then she gave me back the manifest instead of the bill of lading. And I said, I need the bill of lading, stamped bill of lading, saying that you delivered it, not the manifest. She goes, we don't give back the bill of lading. And I said, well, by God, you do today. And so I wouldn't leave the door, wouldn't pay them, you know, nothing until they gave me back the bill of lading. So I swear I don't understand half of these people, Steve. I mean, this is one of the biggest problems that we have in trucking, is this crap right here with these lumpers, and so many of them are undocumented. So many of them, you know, are paid on a 1099. They never pay taxes. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've went to fill out a receipt and ask them for their name or EIN number or something like that, you know, and oh, my name's Joe Montana or something like that, you know, some goofy damn name there where you know, you can't keep track of it. But anyway, I won the battle, so that's all that mattered. I got my bill of lading, and I only paid her $103. So anyway, you know, Nancy Pelosi should have been gone a long damn time ago. That old fossil, she's been part of the problem. I never will forget her strutting out there telling everybody she's a master legislator. You know, she knows every damn thing. You know, what she knows is how to cheat, how to manipulate, and how to deceive. That's all that woman ever knows. And that's the Democratic playbook right there. You know, there's never anything about we the people. It's always about we the power. You know, we the powerful. That's all that Nancy Pelosi's ever known. You know, how else can she accumulate the wealth that she has accumulated over the years, able to buy a huge mansion and vineyards and every damn thing else, as a congresswoman. If you go back through and you look at all these congressmen, and it doesn't matter what flavor they are, what brand they carry, they're wealthy as hell when they come out of office. And that's the only reason that they want to stay there so long is, number one, legacy. They want to pass on some kind of legacy that they've done something good for this country. Vic asked the question, about passing the bill so she can see what's in it. She knew what was in that bill. It was loaded with pork. It was loaded with giveaways. It was loaded with everything that would make the health care system crumble. And that's exactly what we're seeing today. We got a letter today in the mail, and it said that which it doesn't affect me anyway. I don't know why. They even send me the damn thing. It's saying if they don't get these subsidies and stuff back, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, at the bottom line of it there, my health insurance on my wife is going to go up to $2,412 a month. And I said, I hope you don't get sick or need surgery or something. She said, why? And I said, well, you're going to hang on for another year, and then you're going on Medicare. She'll be on Medicare when she turns 65. But I said, that's, another 10 months or so. But I said, this is getting ridiculous. I'm not spending that kind of money on their damn health care. When it just seems like that the entire issue with health care was the small businesses and the people that makes a mediocre income is going to foot the bill for everybody else. That's what it seems like is happening. And it just, I've had enough of it. I'm going to get her a hospitalization policy, pay cash for every damn thing else. If I got to post a bond on it, or something like that, if she's got to have a MRI or something like that, hell, we'll just have to pay for it. It'd still be cheaper in the long run than spending, $30,000 a year just on damn health insurance.
Right.
That, we never meet the deductible anymore, and it just keeps going up. This scam that we see here, it wasn't the people that did this. It was politicians that created this debacle. And it's politicians that better get off their sorry ass and get it fixed, because the people are getting sick of this. When they conflate health care with health care prices, hospitals would be more than glad to take cash. I mean, that's just the way it is. You can go in and negotiate bills down. They'll take cash, and I think they would rather do that than mess with them insurance companies, because you're choosing at that point in time what kind of procedures that you want done. If they say, hey, if a doctor says, you got to have this CT scan, and your insurance company goes, nope, we're not paying for it. Well, right off the bat, they're like, well, sorry, you might die, but that's okay. The insurance company, they said, no, they're not going to pay for it. Well, by God, I'll start paying for it, whatever. If I got I don't know, hell, our house is paid for, whatever, surely, surely we can have enough cash to survive for, until she gets on Medicare. I'm just so sick of this back and forth crap with those damn insurance companies and all the rest of it. It's ever since Obamacare came in and it was mandated in 2011, ever since it came in, our insurance has went from, as a family plan, about $480 a month. Of course, I used the VA. Veteran, so I used VA and retired Air Force. But under the 15-year retirement that I retired under, she got it for 5 years, and she could get TRICARE or something like that. But her damn doctor would be in St. Louis or somewhere, and it's not worth a hoot as far as I'm concerned. You want to hear a no? That's the bunch that does it. But that's the way it is, I guess. But moving on to this trucking thing here with these damn mitigation systems that they have on trucks. The crash avoidance systems and all this other garbage. I busted mine. I took it back to the dealer when I bought this truck. I said, you didn't tell me this crap was on the truck. Yeah, it's on there. And I said, well, shut it off. No, the dealer won't shut, or the OEM won't shut it off. They believe it's a safety feature. I said, I don't give a rat's ass what they believe. You know, you shut it off. And I said, is it under warranty? He said, no. So I beat the hell out of it. You know, I pulled the fuses out of it and, you know, worked it over pretty good. It don't work anymore. I got a couple of icons on the dash here, little things here that says, you know, it's not working. I don't care. It don't bother me. I can paint that black for all I care. You know, if there's ever a good reasoning for a class action lawsuit that OOIDA ought to be off their butts and looking at, it's over this mitigation systems. When you buy this truck, you can order a brand new truck without any of that garbage on there. Hell, I know people that's done it, you know, and got friends that has them right now, brand new trucks, none of this stuff on there. But if it's on there, they won't shut it off. They won't even give the dealer or the shops or anything, according to them, the code, you know, the passwords or anything to actually shut this stuff off. So they said, no, it's a safety feature. You got to keep it on. Well, I'm not. You know, I mean, I had enough of this garbage the first damn day with the alarm wouldn't quit going off. People cut in front of you. It hits the brakes. And then I was going up through Montana, you know, right after I bought the truck. And of course, you know, it was in February, snowing, and had to chain up and stuff like that. But this thing was picking up like trees that were heavy with snow next to the interstate, leaning over. It'd pick it up and hit the damn brakes. You know, if you got, they say if you got the cruise control set, it's the only time it does it. Well, that's a lie, because mine did it several times. Just, you know, you'd feel it slow down, like the radar would pick it up, and then the truck would slow down. And you know, I'd bought a Volvo years ago, back in 2016, I think 2017, something like that. I bought a Volvo, a brand new one, and I ordered it without that crap on there. Well, it come with it on there, and I said, this got to be shut off. I said, I don't want it on there. Well, sorry, but it's on there, you know, and you know, so I lost a bunch of money on the truck, but I took the damn truck back. Said, you know, right here on my order form, it says right here, none of the mitigation stuff. So, and it came with it on it. So they, you know, I still lost money on it, you know, which, you know, was a pain in the butt, but hey, you know, they got their damn truck back and I got my truck back. So, but this, you know, it should be your choice. You know, it should be your choice on whether you want this stuff on here or not. You know, it's aggravating, number one. If you're not ready to pull your hair out, then just listen to the damn alarms go off on these things when you're in heavy traffic. I was going down through Austin, Texas. Just this damn thing would not shut up. And that's when I said, well, next truck stop I get to, I'm going to shut its mouth. And I did. You know, went to pulling wires and pulling fuses and all kinds of other stuff, and you know, lived happily ever after. But it's, you know, they just don't get it. I mean, it's, you know, who in the hell are they to sell you a $200,000 truck and then say, but you gotta have this stuff on there because we think it's a safety feature. Mm-hmm. No, some jackass at this OEM decided, well, let's just leave it on there, because that's what the big companies want. That's what all these big ATA companies want when they order all these trucks. And it's so much easier just to make it everybody. You know, they want it on there because they want to monitor every damn thing a driver does. And, you know, but, you know, here we are. But, yeah, you know, these elections here, you know, we was talking about 1 million people going to exit New York. You know, the funny thing is that what's his name? The mayor up there now, dadgummit, I can't think of his name now.
Bragg?
He won by 750. Who is it?
Alvin Bragg?
No, the mayor there in New York City now. The black guy. I can't think of his dang name now. He was the chief of police or something like that. But anyway, he won back in 2021. He won with 753,000 votes, and there's 1 million people saying they're going to vacate the area if this man Downey, you know, wins. Why don't they just get out and vote? I mean, damn, you know, I'm not convinced that there are that many young people, that really wants to get off their butt and go vote. They may be, I don't know, but I don't know. It just seems like kind of odd to me. But and if people votes for this clown, good. Let them get a good dose of what socialism is all about. When there's no more businesses around, when all the thugs and the hoods and all that crap are running rampant in the damn streets, a hell of a lot worse than what they are right now, and people are just fed up with it, people will take it into their own hands. And I think that'll be a turning point in New York City. They, with any luck, at least Stefanik's going to be the governor of that state. She gets, I think she's up in the polls there, if I remember correctly. She was leading at one time, but it'd be nice for her to get in there because she's a pro-gun fanatic. The legislature up there may not want it, but I don't know. We'd see what happens. Maybe she could, she'll sign some kind of an executive order or something like that. Giving people a right to carry a firearm with them and stuff like that, and that'd put a stop to a lot of the thugs up there that are, in New York City and stuff in the subways. If they're scared of who in the hell they're getting ready to mug, whether or not they'll get shot or not, then they'll stop it. That's one of the reasons why crime in so many areas in Texas and around in places is low, is because everybody carries a damn gun down around there. Hell, where I live, everybody carries a gun. I carry a gun. I mean, it just it's not just my constitutional right, but it's just protection means everything to me. Hell, you gotta. I don't know. There's of course federal buildings and stuff like that you can't carry a weapon in, and but I do have my CCW and that's that's a pretty good task right there for getting that thing. So. I don't know, man. I tell you, it's where in the hell's this world going to? It's just absolutely nuts. And I don't know, Steve. I hate the thought of retiring. I do. I enjoy what I do, but it's businesses, people like that. Then you get if we just get excuse me. Dry throat here. We've been battling allergies all damn week, and with dust and stuff and leaves. And man, I tell you what, it's been causing some problems. But when we look at so much that's going on in this country right now, and with politics and stuff. Look what's happening in California. I've never seen people in my life that wants to squash other people's votes and just for the power of open borders and all the rest of this. How in the hell did that work out for them? I mean, Trump didn't just win, Trump won. That was a big milestone right there, and how people can look at things and say, why did he win so big? He won big because people were fed up with how things were, the open borders and all the giveaways to illegals when we're sweating our butts off trying to make a living. and this is exactly what that fool in New York wants right here.
Yep.
He wants open borders. He wants all of this crap. He wants them people in there. And the reason they want more people in is because the Census Bureau, and I'm guaranteeing you that the Supreme Court's going to look at it and say we're going to continue to count heads instead of citizens, in the districts. And as long as they got 8 million illegals in Democrat districts, they get more congressmen, more senators, and they don't get any more senators, but they get more congressmen to represent them, and that's more power. And that's exactly why all these fools that was in the Biden administration just let the flood begin, because that meant power for them. But we're going to see what happens. I mean, it's I wish that what was the name, Silva. I wish he would have bowed out. But the other mayor.
So you think a one-on-one with Cuomo and Mamdani, that Cuomo would have actually maybe won?
I think so. I think he would have picked up a lot more votes. There was a lot of Republicans that was looking at Cuomo because they knew Silva wasn't going to, he don't stand a chance. He got 27% in the last election. And, this one here, he just don't stand a chance. But, I don't know, man. I tell you, I think Como would have stood a pretty good shot at winning. And I think he still may. Look at Trump. I mean, hell, they had Hillary up by how much? 13 points.
Yeah.
On election day, and Trump pulled it out. Well, I'm not so damn sure that people's not going to look at this and go, maybe we ought to go with Como, and stuff instead of we need businesses, we need and there is businesses that want to leave there, if this clown gets in there because of the taxes that he's going to push, and he has the city council behind him 100%. That's nothing but a bunch of Democrat losers anyway. So, that's something that people up there need to really consider. Do they want to, you might as well go with the lesser of the two evils, because a socialist is the most evil. And, it just, I don't know. It's hard to believe in this day and age that we're even looking and talking about a socialist running for this country, or a communist and running for some kind of an office in this country. But that's
and having a big lead, though. I mean, are the polls still showing him 18, 20 points up, I think? Yeah, going into Election Day today. All right, meanwhile, what's the deal with food stamps, the SNAP program, after the court, the judges, I guess it was, said, hey, we've got to find the funds here. The administration, I guess, yesterday said we will partially foot the bill for SNAP as the government shutdown goes on. That officially lapsed over the past weekend. Let's see. There's a new sheriff in town. 2 federal judges ruling on Friday the administration needs to spend a $5.25 billion emergency fund before officially cutting off SNAP. Now, that's only going to cover about half the $9 billion that is spent per month on SNAP benefits. The judges also said the Department of Agriculture could move around their funds to supplement SNAP for the month of November. But they say the administration will likely refrain, calling it an unacceptable risk. Section 32 of the Child Nutrition Program funds are not a contingency fund for SNAP. According to Patrick Penn, who oversees the SNAP program at the Department of Agriculture this past day, he said using billions of dollars from child nutrition for SNAP would leave an unprecedented gap in the child nutrition funding that Congress has never had to fill with an annual appropriations. And we cannot predict what Congress will do under these circumstances. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins is also seizing the opportunity to comb through SNAP recipients to ensure that only Americans and not illegal aliens are receiving those taxpayer-funded benefits. On my first day at the Department of Agriculture, we told every state to send us their SNAP data so we could make sure illegal immigrants are not getting benefits meant for the American families. 29 states stepped up. 21 blue states refused and actually sued us for asking that question. Tell gets you into a factory warranty truck with the maintenance support you need to stay on the road and out of the shop. Visit tell360.com.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is warning of more air traffic disruptions as the government shutdown continues.
During an appearance on CBS Face the Nation, Duffy said passenger safety remains the top priority. The FAA is reporting understaffing at several airports as air traffic controllers are working without pay during the government shutdown. Major airlines have begun to call on Congress to end the shutdown and pay air traffic controllers. Delta, United, American, and Southwest are urging the U.S. Senate to immediately pass a clean continuing resolution that would pay federal employees. I'm Mark Mayfield.
President Trump says he doubts the U.S. will go to war with Venezuela.
He was asked about the possibility during an interview with CBS's 60 Minutes.
I don't think so, but they've been treating us very badly, not only on drugs. They've dumped hundreds of thousands of people into our country that we didn't want. People from prisons, they emptied their prisons into our country.
When he was asked, Trump wouldn't say if he was considering land strikes in Venezuela. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
From America's News Network, this is USA Radio News.
Hey, I'm Brant, and her name is Sherry.
Hello.
She's a friend of mine whom we were just praying for because of a surgery she just went through.
Yes, and I am very happy about something you actually talk about all the time, which is
MediShare.
That is right.
Yeah. So what was your experience like with MediShare and the healthcare bills?
Honestly, Brant, seamless. And what a blessing that is when you're already nervous about a health issue, which I was.
Yeah.
Members shared my expenses. There were zero problems. And let me tell you, having people pray with you when you call in with your need, that is just...
It is refreshing.
Yes, that's what it is.
But I keep telling people love MediShare and they love saving money. A typical family can save $500 a month.
I am very thankful for MediShare. It is so different, and I mean different in a very, very good way.
It is good different. Call now. They're easy to talk to, and you can get a price within 2 minutes. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Transport Enterprise Leasing, founded by a U.S. Army veteran, proudly supports those who've served. Veterans receive a $750 discount on their lease deposit with 24/7 maintenance support, national parts discounts, and interest-free financing. TEL is committed to your success. Call 866-404-6289 and use promo code overnight100 or visit tel360.com. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system. We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout. Tired of the guesswork when it comes to your load weight? With RightWay, stay in control on the road and on the DOT's good side. From onboard load scales to Bluetooth-enabled monitoring, RightWay helps truckers and fleets cut down on time, fines, and fuel waste, all without hitting the scale. Smarter hauling starts here. Want more details? Head over to RWLS.com. RightWay. Drive more, scale less. Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX-15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Winter is here. When the temperature drops, so does your truck's performance. Avoid fuel gelling by using Hot Shot Secret's EDT Plus Winter Defense, a 7-in-1 fuel booster and anti-gel that improves cold weather performance. The 7-point cetane boost decreases DPF regens and increases fuel economy. Be confident that your engine is running smoothly and trouble-free, even in the coldest temperatures. Hot Shot Secret EDT Plus Winter Defense, available at Pilot Flying J, Amazon, O'Reilly Auto Parts, and HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
The Overnight Drive with Steve Summers. Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. Call Steve now. 844-844-3388. That's 844-844-3388.
What do you say? Head on down to the Sunshine State, see what Philip has going on. Off to work we go.
Yeah, running a little bit later today. I got a little bit later start time today. I got a answer for Grump's question about this stuff that they've got on the trucks now, this integrated collision avoidance stuff and mitigation, all that stuff. Steve, you know this autonomous stuff that we keep hearing about that's happening down in Texas and these different places that they're testing on, and, you know, we hear it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Those systems are going to be in the truck with that autonomous system, and that's going to work off of it. And a lot of the OEMs, I can tell you right now, they're not going to not put that in trucks anymore because it's going to be integrated into those systems if they ever come to fruition. And that is a government thing there. And a lot of it is, it's no different than DEF or anything else that's on trucks now. And I believe that eventually you will not be able to get that not off, taken off your truck if you order it. Now, a lot of the drivers that are company drivers deal with what he's dealing with on a daily basis. And I've heard it from several that call this show. It's not going to be taken off the trucks if a company buys it. I can tell you right now, if a big company buys it, they're not going to take it off their truck. You can pull the fuses and do whatever you have to do. When it goes in for maintenance, it's going to get put back in. I know I've seen it when I was a company driver and different things. But a lot of it is being integrated for this autonomous stuff down the road, and that's a federal thing. It's all getting set up. Those systems work with those collision avoidance systems. They all work together, and it's part of technology. It's what's going on, And you're talking about AI earlier, Steve. There's a lot of the big companies that have got the AI that's going in, and it's taking care of people's schedules. I mean, it's cutting hours. It's doing all kinds of things to save money. So that AI don't let it fool you. I know they talk a lot about it. It was kind of over-exaggerated about Amazon. But that AI can do that, Steve. It's being utilized for a lot of things, a lot more than what people realize. And as far as the insurance goes, Steve, when you buy something, everybody's got to make profit. So they raise the price on it, right? Well, this Affordable Care Act is really not affordable. And what I mean by that is the insurance companies have raised the rates so astronomically. I mean, even Grump mentioned it there in what he was talking about, that it's, he got the little letter and it's going to be going up more. It's these insurance companies have raised the prices so bad, they could drop it down. And that's what they kind of did with the Affordable Care Act. They just dropped it down a little bit to entice people. It was just more of like a sell point than it was actually saving people major amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
I wish people would understand that about insurance. Insurance could be a lot cheaper than what it is, but what it is, these companies want their profit. Look at it this way. Take, for instance, Jamaica just got hit by a hurricane. Those folks down there, the insurance companies are probably, oh my God, we're going to go bankrupt down here. How can you go bankrupt with the amount of money that we pump into you every year? It's unfathomable. How much, didn't you put any money in for contingency that when something would happen that you were going to have to pay for? We hear it all the time down here in Florida. Our insurance is starting to rebound now to where it's coming down here, our house insurance and stuff. And it's primarily because we didn't have any storms so far this year. We've been lucky. But these insurance companies, they've raised the rate so much for their profitability. And, I know it has to do with investors. I get it. That's part of the market system. That's the way it works. The more money you make, it's for your investors and everything. I get that. But, you know, you got to understand, and Grump mentioned this earlier, the middle class is not, there is no middle class anymore. I hate to say that, but that's the way it's working. It's because a lot of this guys out here in the middle class are paying the bill. And we're paying it pretty hard, you know. And we're paying it so hard that some of us are even on that SNAP program that they're trying to get the money for. My question is, Steve, what has to do with military benefits as far as retirement goes? If this government shutdown goes for a long time, will that affect any of the folks that have government retirement? Will it, Steve? Do you know anything about that?
That I do not.
You know, the folks that are on the insurance that are retired, that have that right for those insurance, the TRICARE and all that other stuff. Is it going to affect that? Is it going to affect the folks that have retirement? And by the way, if somebody walks away because they're not getting paid, is that going to be terms for insubordination in the military? Do you think that we will have people that are in the military that are going to walk away from it and be in it because of their not getting paid? What do you think, Steve?
Well, to date, they haven't missed a payday. I think the 15th is going to be their next pay date, and I don't believe there's going to be the funds there for that one. And I'm thinking they'll get this reopened before the 15th. Surely.
I'm hoping they do. Not so much, you know, I mean, if you work, you want to get paid. I mean, I know those guys make the sacrifice for the country, and I get that. And that's part of being in the military, and that's basically part of having a government job. You were talking about the SNAP program. I talked to a lady that I worked with yesterday at the Contemporary Resort. Her mother works for the state of Florida, and she is one of the folks that, you know, helps people when they get set up on different programs like SNAP and whatnot. And she told me that the state is gonna lay them off because their funding for their pay for their jobs is going to have to be put into for the SNAP deal to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes fruition like it's going, you know. So this is not, it's affecting a lot of things. I mean, it's going to affect a lot of things, but makes you wonder, like, wow, how all this stuff gets set up all these years ago, you know, and it's been this way for a long time. You know, nobody's really noticed it till now. And I believe now is the longest time that the government has been shut down, isn't it, Steve? I think this is the longest point that
as of today, that is correct.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, it's funny, you know, our founding fathers, they didn't think about this when we set up the government, you know, like Social Security and Medicare and all these different things that are government benefits that we get, you know, and they didn't think about all that stuff when they set up all this stuff going years ago for the government, like taxation. I believe taxation was not supposed to happen, was it, Steve? We weren't going to have taxation like that, like income tax.
Correct.
And all that.
Yep.
Originally, you know, and there's a lot of things that people don't think about with this deal with the government. And you were talking about the space station earlier. Now, in my opinion, does it need to come down? Absolutely. Is it dangerous? Absolutely. It's outlived its lifespan. When you put something through the amount of stress that thing has went through all these years, I'm really surprised the thing is still up there, to be quite honest. If you look at Mirrors, which was the Soviets one, the Skylab that we had, you know, all these different stations and different things that have been through the years, their lifespan is not there. And it's because of the environment that they go through on a daily basis. Sonny, who is one of the astronauts, she's the one that was stuck up there with the deal. They asked her one time, what is it like to sleep on the space station? And she says, well, you don't really get any sleep because it's just a lot of beating and banging. And what she means is when that thing's going through the environment it goes through, there is a lot of noise on the outside of things hitting it. It could be things as small as a little pebble like size thing, and it could be something that's big. You never know. And they do have a collision avoidance system on it that where they can, they have to get up if they think they're going to run into something. And that thing is taking a lot of stress. I mean, you think about the temperature changes, and all kinds of different things. And that place in the Pacific is way out there in that Nemo. Look that up. If you get a chance, Google that. You'd be wondering, this is way out there, and I imagine there is a lot, I'm talking a lot of people that salvage out there because there is a lot of precious metal that comes down with space stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's a satellite or that space station. I imagine there are guys waiting for that thing to deorbit because they want to go out there and salvage it. Because of the rare metals that are on it. I mean, there's gold, silver, there's all kinds of nickel, all kinds of different things on that space station that when it hits that water, it's going to make it through. It's actually going to make it through the atmosphere, not burn up. That is going to make a lot of people a lot of money. So, but that's all I got today, buddy. I appreciate y'all having me, and thanks a lot.
All right, good to hear from you. Philip, Point Nemo. Absolutely in the middle of nowhere. They're in the middle of the ocean. What's going on, Pappy?
What's happening, Steve? Thing about the space station, she's losing sleep because she's worried a golf ball size debris will hit that space station. If it punctures the cabin, they'll never know it.
Yeah, right.
Kind of like that submarine that imploded a couple of years ago.
Instant demise.
Boom. Yes, sir. So probably no sense worrying about it. I don't know. It's easy to say sitting down here on a couch on Earth, though, ain't it? What the hell else was I going to say here? I don't know. I'll get on to my main subject here, Steve. You hear about all these serious death threats that government officials and non-government officials are. Did you hear that they're moving some government officials on military bases?
I did see that. Due to concerns of assassination attempts kind of things?
Yes, sir. It's the cartel making these death threats. Elon Musk, J.D. Vance, President Trump, Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, General Michael Flynn, Alex Jones, Bondi, FBI director, probably Bongino too. I think it started to ramp up as soon as Trump started splashing some of these boats coming from Venezuela and rounding up all these cartel members. So, I don't know, Steve. Things are ramping up. You hear Bill Gates is changing his tune on the climate crisis.
Yes, yeah. Saw that last week.
Glenn Beck had a very interesting podcast he put up about this. I don't know if you happen to catch that or not. But, so now you got Bill Gates, the leader of climate change, is now coming out and saying, well, hold on now. It's maybe not as bad as we thought it was. So the question is, why is he changing his tune? And the reason is because most of his associates and himself are going to be big into this AI. Right? And what does AI need, Steve? Energy.
Lots of it.
Lots of it. And shutting down all these plants, power plants, thinking that these solar panels and windmills are going to be up to the game. They're realizing, what are we going to do here, man? We going to stay on the ball field with this climate change hoax, or do we want the power to be able to run these AI? So it just shows who these people are, man. Scammers. Oh, and CNN, MSNBC, Steve, I saw a full video of ICE agents arresting some lady. Fox had a little bit of this on tonight. I forget if it was Jesse or probably wasn't Hannity. I don't watch Hannity anymore, Steve. I gave him the boot quite a long time ago. But so ICE is arresting this female, and CNN plays the clip of the female getting arrested, and she's screaming, "I'm a U.S. citizen." So they're trying to throw the narrative out there. Here's ICE. They are arresting U.S. citizens. Well, they failed to show the clip before her arrest of what this lady did to get arrested, Steve. She ran the damn ICE vehicle. They went to arrest her. She grabbed the ICE, one of the ICE agents by his kahunas and started squeezing. But the media is right back at it. Well, they never stopped. Flat out putting these false narratives, flat out lying to the people that watch them. That's why myself and many of your callers said, man, this is especially evil, right? Anybody watching CNN and believes any of this stuff coming out of their mouth,
But for those that watch the CNN religiously, they see that and they believe the narrative. Then that gives them a distrust and almost a hatred of ICE agents, feeling as though
yes, sir,
they're not doing their job. They're the bad guys. But that's not the truth.
That's their goal, and that's their goal. People are very easily brainwashed. And when you're not raised to think for yourself sometimes, right, and use common sense, that's what, then Steve, man, I'll tell you what, I heard something really disturbing. There's an underground, well, it's not even so much underground now. There's these groups of people that are getting into these chat boxes with these young kids, right? And they are brainwashing these kids to do violent acts and to convince them that maybe they're a female and not a male, or a male and not a female. And this is done by some very high-level government-type people. And I'm not saying our government. I'm talking about worldwide here. It's hard to get into the specifics of it. There's a guy I follow. He's on a broadcast, and the reason I started following, in fact, I know somebody that works for us that was in the military with this guy. This guy was a special forces guy, and he started his own broadcast, but he has a gun store, right? And So he trains people. You can sign up and go to his training. He's got long-range rifle training, pistol training, QB, close quarter combat, and doing SWAT type stuff, right? Some police departments around the country will send their officers there. And since the Trump assassination, he kind of got into doing some investigative work, right? He's a straight up dude. He's going to call the right shots here and not put out any false information. And whatever he puts out, he will back it. He's the one. Remember where I told you when Charlie got assassinated? That video, how he zoomed in on it, where that round appears to hit the collar, right? Mm-hmm. Thinks it hit his body armor and went up, right? This is the dude that put this out. And he's even going on his range, and he's going to try to duplicate that shot with the same caliber rifle. The problem is, Steve, is we don't know. We know it was a 30-06 caliber round, right? The problem is we don't know the type of bullet. There's so many different types of bullets that cartridge can fire. I think we've talked about this a little bit in the past. Mm-hmm. There's different powder charges, different bullet weights, different bullet designs. And so without knowing what actual type of bullet and the muzzle velocity from that thing, it's kind of, we're guessing. Because the narrative out there that everybody is saying is there's no way that Charlie got shot in the neck with a 30-06 and there wasn't no exit wound. And, on the face of it, you're like, yeah, kind of makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. 30-06 is a powerful round. And just to hit some soft tissue, because it's see the 30-06, depending on the bullet again, it'll go straight through a deer. If it's a full metal jacket, right through a deer and think nothing of it. Even hitting bone. But then again, you got different bullet types, And anyway, I'm getting off point here. He is putting out a podcast tomorrow at 6 p.m. And he is interviewing this lady that has been investigating these people that are getting into these chat rooms, so to speak, and how they are able to manipulate, get into the minds of these young people and get them to do horrific stuff.
So pretty much,
he was saying,
pretty much grooming them in a chat room, per se. Hold the thought there. For 2 decades, TEL has helped owner-operators grow their business with trusted leasing and financing options. Learn more at tel360.com.
At TEL, we know what it takes to succeed as an owner-operator because we were founded by one. The big secrets? Affordable new trucks. New equipment keeps you moving, improves cash flow, and delivers reliability. For over 20 years, we've helped drivers take the next step in their careers. Call TEL at 866-404-6289 and use promo code OVERNIGHT100. We look forward to meeting you. truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Diesel owners know if you take care of your engine, it'll return the favor. Hot Shot secret formulates additives that help you prevent problems and boost performance. Diesel Extreme cleans internal and external injector deposits, and EDT increases fuel economy by up to 7.3%, scientifically proven by third-party testing. Add Hot Shot secret at your next fill-up to get the most out of your diesel. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is warning of more air traffic disruptions as the government shutdown continues.
During an appearance on CBS Face the Nation, Duffy said passenger safety remains the top priority. The FAA is reporting understaffing at several airports as air traffic controllers are working without pay during the government shutdown. Major airlines have begun to call on Congress to end the shutdown and pay air traffic controllers. Delta, United, American, and Southwest are urging the U.S. Senate to immediately pass a clean continuing resolution that would pay federal employees. I'm Mark Mayfield.
President Trump says he doubts the U.S. will go to war with Venezuela.
He was asked about the possibility during an interview with CBS's 60 Minutes.
I don't think so, but they've been treating us very badly, not only on drugs. They've dumped hundreds of thousands of people into our country that we didn't want. People from prisons, they emptied their prisons into our country.
When he was asked, Trump wouldn't say if he was considering land strikes in Venezuela. He added he believes Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's days in power are numbered. The Venezuelan leader and the President of Colombia have been critical of the actions taken by the U.S. in the Caribbean. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
A major study out of Sweden shows that some hormonal contraceptives are linked to a slightly higher risk of breast cancer.
It involved 2 million women and teenagers ages 13 to 49 and is the largest study of its kind. Researchers at Uppsala University found that some progestins, particularly desogestrel, pose an elevated breast cancer risk, but the study's lead author says she does not encourage women to stop using hormonal contraceptives. She says they provide important health benefits, which include relief of menstrual pain and heavy bleeding, as well as lowering the risk of ovarian and endometrial cancer. She's advising women to consult their doctors. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
AAA reports the national average price for a gallon of gas is $3.03. Mono County, California is up to $5.81. Woodward County, Oklahoma, $2.31. From America's News Network, this is USA Radio News.
Business owners, are you paying high phone bills for old school systems and lousy service? StrongTel cuts your phone bills in half and turns every phone you own into a feature-rich business system. Sean Roddy, CEO of Hennings Brothers Drilling, had this to say: "We've been a StrongTel customer for over 10 years. It's great. It even includes an intercom with video to our equipment yard. I can watch live from anywhere with my smartphone. I'd recommend StrongTel to anyone. Never miss a customer call again with your StrongTel business system. StrongTel is a proud iTex partner and always welcomes your iTex dollars. You'll get award-winning StrongTel service, a business-class phone system, and cut your phone bill in half. So visit StrongTel.com right now. That's StrongTel, StrongTel.com. StrongTel.
The son of accused Los Angeles Crips leader Eugene Big U Henley is dead.
The LA County Medical Examiner confirms 34-year-old Jabari Henley was shot to death. The LAPD says the shooting happened late Friday night in the Vermont Slauson neighborhood. Investigators say Henley was gunned down after walking up to a vehicle. Suspects inside that vehicle shot him, then drove off. They are still on the loose. Eugene Big U Henley is facing federal charges on suspicion of running a mafia-like criminal enterprise. He is also well known in the hip-hop industry. I'm Daniel Martindale.
A former University of Arizona professor is suing after being fired for speaking at a school board meeting on parental rights and his religious beliefs. Daniel Grossenbach says his First Amendment rights were violated, while the university claims the lawsuit is untimely. A faith-based legal group is backing Grossenbach, seeking reinstatement and a ruling against what they call religious and viewpoint discrimination. Citizens in Hanover, Pennsylvania are outraged after seeing a Holocaust-themed Halloween float. A Hanover Catholic school's float reportedly featured a replica Auschwitz gate with the phrase, "Work sets you free." Retired teacher Deborah Smith spoke with WGAL.
I think that's what I had the most trouble with, is that somebody put it there, other people saw it, and nobody stopped to say, hey, I don't think we should do that.
Bishop Timothy Sr. called it profoundly offensive, apologized to the Jewish community, and emphasized that Catholics reject anti-Semitism. Anthony Lucero, USA Radio News.
What if the music stopped? If the familiar voices were silenced? If there were no breaking news updates? What if your companion and connection to your community came with a monthly fee? Don't worry, we're free local radio with you wherever you go, celebrating 100 years and looking forward to the next 100. We are broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local radio stations. By the National Association of Broadcasters.
Don't get stuck buying, or worse, leasing a used truck that's just going to break down. At TEL, we help owner-operators succeed with a new truck for as low as $500 down and affordable weekly payments with 24/7 support, plus access a network of top carriers. Choose an industry leader that has your back. Call TEL at 866-404-6289 or visit tel360.com. Use promo code overnight100.
Increase fuel economy up to 7.9% with Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme. The solution to maximize your engine's performance and fuel economy. Whether you're driving a sports car or a daily commuter, Gasoline Extreme is specially formulated with PEA to deep clean. Don't settle for an average driving experience. Upgrade to Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme and go further on each tank. Order now on Amazon or HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Keep the bugs off your glass and the smokies off your ass. This is the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
All right, get that final hour underway here on a Tuesday. All right, my apologies, Pappy. It's a click of the mouse. Yeah, rather than putting them on hold, I clicked on drop. So I got your email here. He was explaining to us, this guy in the podcast that's going to be coming up later on tonight. Let me give you the rest of the details. I said if you want to listen to this, it's going to be a couple hours long. You can find him on Facebook, YouTube, or Rumble. You could just search Paramount Tactical. Paramount Tactical. I believe the interview with this lady's something like 6 o'clock our time. All right, but he said this is shocking to the core about how they are grooming children to do horrific things in some of these chat rooms and things of that nature. He said this dude's been through like several tours of combat. He's seen a lot of this stuff done. All right, I'm hoping to be able to watch it live. I'll be off, so I'll fill you in tomorrow night. Anyways, yeah, school, church shootings, yeah, these, it seems to be playing a role in this, even a possibility that some of these organizations were able to get the Charlie Kirk shooter. Okay, it's not surprising to me that, this kind of stuff's going on in this modern day of chat rooms, discussion rooms, and a lot of it is in these online gaming platforms where you don't know who's on the other end. It may sound like a very young male. It can be an old man. I mean, they could even use voice-changing technology to sound like a kid. Not a bit surprising to me, some of the things. Matter of fact, a couple days ago, I was watching a video where they were showing how easy it is to manipulate people. This was it was a trial to demonstrate, and they caught it on video. Initially, you've got like 8 or 10 people sitting in a waiting room at like a doctor's office or something, and everybody's in on it except they bring this one woman in, and she takes her seat. There's a little sound, like a little tone, that every couple of minutes, when that tone goes off, initially, everybody, when she first walks in, sits down. When that tone goes off, everyone in the room stands up briefly for like 1 or 2 seconds and sits back down. And she just, she's kind of looking perplexed. But the tone goes off, everybody stands up, everybody sits down. Again, they're all in on it except for her. Well, after a period of time, I don't know, half dozen times, when the tone goes off, she stands up with everybody else. No idea why, but everybody else is doing it. I guess you're supposed. So they continue that one by one. The people that were all initially there are exiting the room until she's the only one left sitting in the waiting room. The tone goes off. She stands up for a moment, sits back. Then they start bringing other people, one at a time, who are not in on this. And she continues doing that stand up when the tone goes off. And other people, one by one, as the room continues to fill. The first gentleman that sat down, he also looked at her like, "Are you nuts?" initially. But as things progress, they all end up just, when the tone goes off, everybody stands up. Why? No one ever asked a question, why are we doing this? What is the purpose of standing up when you hear that? No one ever questioned it. I guess the idea was to show that how people will just go along because everybody else is doing it. It must be the right thing to do, right? No one ever questioned how easily people can be manipulated. Very bizarre. All right, I think Bert's online. Check it in from San Antone this early Tuesday morning. Bert?
Greetings, how are you?
Well, doing well.
Well, I'd like to say there was a word you said in your thing, what you do in, how I should say, elaborate. I think that's a good word to put it. I don't think a lot of people, I know your listeners do, what was it, exaggerate? That's the root word that I was looking for when you said it. I think it's a very good word. It's like how you bring about things into fruition.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we always think negative thoughts, we're going to bring negative fruitions into the scheme of things. So even though some things happen to us badly, we should not treat them as badly things. It's like maybe a lesson to be learned or a lesson to be sent from above or below. We should look at it like that. Because it's a very good, mean, like if you think always negative thoughts, I gather that negative thoughts are going to be around you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would suggest to people that they just like, okay, because life has dealt me a bad hand at this time, so to speak. We should just because life is ugly at sometimes, we should not respond to it as ugliness. That make any sense to you?
It does. Sure. Negative.
And the other guy, well, I like the one that came on, I think it was 2 times ago. He's a very articulate trucker. He put things like so fucking, excuse me, I didn't mean to say that word. And I know you have a 10-second.
Right.
But he put everything succinctly. He put everything succinctly and to the point. He's very educated, and for a trucker, he's exuding his sovereignty. You know, because without truckers, I want to give you truckers accolades because, you know, without y'all, toilets would not be filled and things like that.
Wouldn't have anything. Absolutely. Shelves would be empty. All right. Thank you much, Bert. Have a great morning. Thanks for checking in. 14 past the hour. Quite honestly, I know that I guess the biggest race in the election today is the mayor of New York, Mamdani, this socialist, communist. What's going to happen in New York? There's governor race, attorney general, I think in Virginia, New Jersey. There's other things going on. Like I said earlier, I think the only thing that I'll be heading to the polls for, I think they got a township trustee, maybe a judge, a couple of judges. I mean, and then there's a police levy. Obviously, in this day and age, school levies, police levies, very, very difficult to get passed. And in our case, the police levy, I think they said it'll cost you, the taxpayers are going to pay $102 per year for every $100,000 valuation on your home. So if you live in a $400,000 home, it's going to be like $408 a year more that your taxes are going to go up. That's going to be one to watch for here. But I saw Stephanie posted here last hour, a couple of hours ago, for obviously a Virginia resident. She said, for the first time in my life, I will be voting for a Democrat in Virginia for governor. So, like I said, I'm not familiar with what's going on with these various governor races. I did a quick search, headed into Election Day, and in Virginia, this Democrat Abigail Spanberger has solidified her status as the front runner in the race for governor, according to the executive director of Emerson College Polling, stating that a sign of her growing strength, is among men, a group that was evenly divided last month, but for whatever reason now breaks for her by 6 points, 52% to 46%. Those voters, they say, backed Governor Youngkin by about 9 points in 2021. So again, I was kind of curious, Stephanie, what's the deal with never voted for a governor there, but in this case, I'm not even sure who the Republican counter candidate is. So I found that interesting, though. Now, it says the race for Attorney General, 49% support Democrat Jay Jones, 47% supporting the incumbent Republican Jason Miyares. A day before the election, they're saying 4% still undecided there. So that's That's going to be the deciding factor. So that's, I guess, in both of those races, the headlines are saying they're too close to call, headed into Election Day there in Virginia. All right, with that, let's see, Charlie's on the line, I believe. Morning, Charlie.
Good morning, Steve and fellow listeners. Yes, this is the unofficial Charlie Ferguson impersonator of the Overnight Drive. The man who aspires to one day be considered the Rich Little of the Overnight Drive. Well, as you know, we had our big Halloween party at the GMAMBS Enterprises skyscraper on Friday night. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a huge shingbang. I mean, we supposed to have a live country music entertainer that was impersonating a very famous country music artist from years ago. Little do we know, he was imposturing No-Show Jones. So, you know what happened. Well, but we had some pretty good costumes come up. Oh, the blind man had a good one. He come as an umpire and brought the seeing eye dog with him as the catcher, so he could tell him what the ball was, a ball or a strike. Horse Feathers showed up. He was kind of conspicuous. He showed up in a horse costume, had feathers staked to it. Well, I tell you what, it was kind of interesting, but then again, when they come apart, it was none other than Plowboy in the back part of the costume. Well, I guess that makes Plowboy a horse's patootie. Well, that's no surprise there. Well, we went on. You know, we had Scarecrow show up. Thank God he showed up. Bone Jangles and Bone Jenna was driving me crazy. Three Bone Jangles and Stump running around drunk, and Bone Jenna and Stick running around. I couldn't get any work out of either one of them. But he showed up. I figured he could come up with a better costume as a Scarecrow, but he did. Well, it could have been worse. Captain Ron, he was about on that same bit, showed up in a captain's uniform. I mean, come on now, people, use a little bit of imagination in these costumes. But I tell you, my lovely wife, Marianne, did show up as a witch. Bolt showed up as a convict. He had an orange jumpsuit on. There's a little different. And considering she works for the West Virginia State Police.
Right.
You know, well, we had a little interesting, though. We had a long black limousine show up. Well, no other than Dingbat jumps out of the driver's seat, the lovely Dingbat. And she is dressed as Harley Quinn. But boy, was we in for a surprise when she opened up the door. First, out steps Braindead. He is dressed like a ballerina. I mean, leotard, tights, tutu, the whole 9 yards. Trust me, it gets worse. Here comes Heatwave out, dressed as a French maid. Yep, and he didn't shave his legs, so the hair was sticking out his fishnet stockings. Whew. I tell you what, you didn't think it couldn't get worse? Next thing you know, Pappy jumps out. Well, he's dressed as a nurse, and those of you can remember Nurse Goodbody, well, that dress had nothing on the one Pappy was wearing. Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, here come Rambler out. I kid you not, he is dressed as a she-devil in a red dress, tight heels, I mean the horns, the pitchfork and all. Well, after our country act didn't show up, we got desperate. So they done a Village People impersonation for our live entertainment. Well, that when everything went downhill, everybody packed up and left. Now I got a huge mess here with nobody helping me to clean it up. Well, Steve, I'm going to back on out of here. I don't know whether they're going to hold one of these Halloween parties or not. This just got totally out of hand.
Sounds like it was
everybody has a safe night.
The ultimate debacle for Halloween, right? The GMA&B Enterprises.
Thinking about becoming your own boss? Transport Enterprise Leasing makes it easy with new trucks, 24/7 maintenance support, and now you can save right from the start. Use promo code OVERNIGHT100 to get $100 off your first lease payments. Call TEL today at 866-404-6289 or visit tel360.com and take the first step toward owning your success.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Tired of the guesswork when it comes to your load weight? With Rightway, stay in control on the road and on the DOT's good side. From onboard load scales to Bluetooth-enabled monitoring, Rightway helps truckers and fleets cut down on time, fines, and fuel waste, all without hitting the scale. Smarter hauling starts here. Want more details? Head over to rwls.com. Rightway. Drive more, scale less.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
All right, Eric. My friend Eric posted here a few hours ago. Election day polls soon to be opening. President Trump tells voters in Virginia and New Jersey a vote for the Democrats is a death wish. Vote Republican. So I guess the president had gone to Truth Social this past evening, stating first, why would anyone vote for New Jersey and Virginia gubernatorial candidates Mickey Sherrill and Abigail Spanberger when they want transgender for everybody? Men playing in women's sports, high crime, the most expensive energy prices nearly anywhere in the world. Vote Republican for massive energy cost reductions, large-scale tax cuts, and basic common sense. Under President Trump, gasoline will come down to approximately $2 a gallon, and that'll be very soon. With the Democrats, you'll be paying $4, $5, $6 a gallon. Your electric and other energy costs will likewise soar. Vote Republican for a great, very affordable life. All you'll get from voting Democrat is unrelenting high crime, energy prices through the roof, men playing in women's sports, and heartache. So, well, you know where President Trump stands there. And are they trying to say these races like in New Jersey and Virginia are supposed to be maybe the bellwether for what's going to be happening next year for the midterms? You get the Democrat governor in Virginia, the Democrat in New Jersey, Mamdani, of course, in New York. I'm thinking that's where, the Democrats are going to be saying, we've got the momentum. Yeah, we're going to roll into 2026 and sweep back into power in the Senate, in the House. I'm guessing that's why these are being viewed as pretty crucial votes taking place today. All right, Carl, it's been a while since we've heard from you. How's things going?
Well, Steve, not too good. You know, I do Honda auto parts for Honda, and actually, we've been kind of shut down since last week. It's a chip shortage.
Ah, okay. I'm hearing a lot about chip. All of a sudden, the chips coming into play again.
Yes, sir. They have shut the Honda plants down in Ohio and in Alabama as well, which is a lot of people are out of work. The Honda Alabama plant alone down there in Lincoln employs 4,500 down there.
So they're, I guess, on temporary layoff, whatever, right? Unemployment kind of. I should have looked at the clock first. Hold the thought there, Carl. I'll come back to you right after the news break. First, operate under your own authority and choose your carrier. Tel gives you the freedom to run your business your way. It's tel360.com.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. One of California's U.S. senators is expressing hope that the government shutdown talks might progress with President Trump back in the nation.
Trump has returned from Asia. However, Burbank Democrat Adam Schiff says there's no guarantee as negotiations have been stalled for some time. Democrats and Republicans remain at an impasse primarily due to Democratic demands for health care provisions, including extensions of COVID-19 subsidies and the reversal of Medicaid cuts. Republicans insist they are submitting a clean bill that would continue funding the government without any changes. I'm Phil Hewlett.
President Trump is again addressing a possible third term.
He was asked about the possibility during an interview with CBS 60 Minutes.
Well, I don't even think about it. I will tell you, a lot of people want me to run, but the difference between us and the Democrats is we really do have a strong bench.
Last week, House Speaker Mike Johnson said he doesn't see the path for a third Trump term. I'm Mark Mayfield.
From America's News Network USA Radio News.
If you want 5 free classic radio shows to add to your library or listen to them anytime you'd like, just go to 100radioshows.com. There's 5 shows waiting for you. Fibber, McGee and Molly, Suspense, Jack Benny, Gunsmoke, and Richard Diamond, Private Detective. They're yours free. Just put your email in. We'll send you an email with 5 links. The links never expire. The shows sound amazing. They're yours as our gift. At that site, 100radioshows.com, there are hundreds and hundreds of additional classic radio shows for purchase. If you decide to buy any of those shows, use the promo code
radio.
That's right. Use the promo
secret
code
word is
radio. If you do that, you'll save 70% on your order. Now, that's done at checkout. Make sure you put the promo code in, save 70%. Get some free classic radio shows at 100radioshows.com. At 100radioshows.com.
At TEL, we know what it takes to succeed as an owner-operator because we were founded by one. The big secret? Affordable new trucks. New equipment keeps you moving, improves cash flow, and delivers reliability. For over 20 years, we've helped drivers take the next step in their careers. Call TEL at 866-404-6289 and use promo code OVERNIGHT100. We look forward to meeting you.
Hello, Big T here with Diesel Power Group. Listen, if your truck's in a repair center and you think it's being misdiagnosed or worse, being overcharged for an overhaul or an engine replacement, you need to stop and call Diesel Power Group now. Allow us to build the DPG solution that is right for you, not the repair center. We have over 4 decades in engine remanufacturing experience and specialize in Caterpillar, Cummins, Detroit, Mack, International, and John Deere. DPG offers an industry-leading warranty and turnaround times. We want to earn your trust every day. Don't believe us? Challenge us today by calling 574-594-5888 or visit us at dieselpowergroup.com and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We are available 24/7. Mention code 374 and receive a $200 rebate towards your major failure repair.
We know being over the road isn't easy, but getting parts for your truck can be. Rainey's offers over 100,000 parts and accessories, from chrome to cab comforts, watermelon lights to necessary replacement parts. It's all available on our website. Got questions? Our team of experts has your back from start to finish with unmatched customer service you won't get anywhere else. Head to Rainey's.com to get $25 off any order over $250 with code DRIVE25 at checkout.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. And more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
And now, back to the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
All right, picking up where we left off, there was a couple nights ago, I think Plowboy brought up, was it Ford? Haven't you halt production on several assembly lines? What's going on? The chip shortage that Carl just mentioned. Now, going back to the COVID pandemic, when all these millions of people suddenly were being forced to stay home, work from home, schools shuttered, every child had to suddenly have a laptop to do homeschooling. So there was these massive orders of electronics, everybody buying laptops, tablets, computers, so they could work from home, which translated into a chip shortage for virtually everything that needed these chips. So why all of a sudden is it happening again? Like I said, I've been hearing about a chip shortage. I did a quick search on what the hell's going on. According to what I'm seeing, it says the latest shortage is linked to a dispute involving Nexperia. The Dutch government's takeover of the Chinese-owned company has led to China restricting exports of its components, potentially halting production at major automakers, Volkswagen, Stellantis, Mercedes-Benz. Automakers are warning of potential production shutdowns in the coming weeks as current chip inventories are running low. So we're at a deja vu here. The effects are not limited to one region, with manufacturers in Europe, the United States, Japan, Korea, all facing potential disruptions. Now, in the previous chip shortage, as I mentioned, the COVID pandemic, a surge in demand for consumer electronics strained the semiconductor supply chain. Lockdowns, transportation hindering both the production and shipping of chips. And that was a significant impact on the auto industry at the time. So what are we facing right now? Production delays, they say, could lead to fewer new cars available on dealer lots. The time it takes to get a new vehicle may increase. Increased cost for automakers may be passed on to consumers. And in some instances, vehicles may be delivered with certain features, things like heated seats or parking sensors, missing to avoid production delays. See, I so well recall these lots, various locations. Kentucky Speedway was one where Ford had thousands and thousands of their pickup trucks parked down there waiting for the chips to come in so they could add the chips for all those added features. So, yeah, it's kind of like a deja vu, Carl.
Yes, it sure is. I'm getting ready to run up underneath the tunnel here on I-71 going southbound. I've been to London, Ohio to pick up some headlights up there, but up in London, Ohio, up there to Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the thing is, it's really hitting hard on people, especially us too, the truck drivers who are needing to work. But we just will have to wait. They tell us about the 10th as things are going to start building up again, maybe the 14th. But they don't know really for sure when they're going to build up their chip inventory there. So we don't really know what's in the offing, for us the rest of the month. Not really, because they're trying to keep it as much as they can. Actually, you found that article. Yeah, I was looking up some things too, and I found that same article too. But it really doesn't explain it, in detail. And it's like, okay, what is going on? Because you asked a great question there. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, this came up all of a sudden during the month of October. We heard nothing. We heard not a thing. We didn't hear anything until last week about around the Halloween there is when it happened, really. But yeah, I just don't know what's going on really. But yeah, this is the only load I'm going to get all week, I guess, and I'm really not supposed to be going north. I'm supposed to be going south, and somebody else is going to pick this up this morning and take it on down south. But yeah, it's really strange. I'm going through the tunnel right now, so I don't know if I'll hold on to you or not. But yeah, things are getting pretty bad as far as that goes. You know what I mean? But I made it through the tunnel. But yeah, looking at Riverfront Stadium right now. So, but yeah, it's beautiful scenery here in Cincinnati. I gotta say. I mean, I like the town driving early morning hours before the traffic hits. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. But to comment on other things that's been going on, really, I've been listening to you. Late at night and stuff like that, because I've been working except for last week, kind of came up this business here, but I'm doing this load tonight. But, yeah, Cincinnati, as far as the football team goes, if they don't get rid of their defensive coordinator, I don't see how they can improve.
Yeah.
Really on the defense. Because this guy has proven over and over again he's not going to do what it takes to make their team competitive on the defensive end as far as that goes. When they start playing defense, all these big plays start happening against Cincinnati, and you can't just go out there and score massive like 50 points a game to win a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just really odd that they would hold on to the defensive coordinator the way they're doing. And the owner probably needs to just step in and say, okay, well, we're just going to have to do something here and cut this defensive coordinator, get somebody in here that can help coach this team. And if Zach wants to leave, then that's his prerogative, I'm sure that that he could find another job somewhere. He's not that bad, not really. He just has a kind of a sort of a bad attitude as far as defense goes, apparently. I don't know what his purpose is there other than a massive friendship with this guy as far as defensive coordinator goes, that he may be his friend, just good buddy, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, that's a real problem. Kentucky's got the same issue with their coach, Mark Stoops. He has been around there for 13 years. He's the most tenured coach in the SEC. But he can't win SEC football games. He won his first SEC football game last week against Auburn, which aren't doing very well. And they got rid of their coach after that game, Hugh Freeze. So, there's so many coaches right now. They're changing their. It's a coaching carousel. As they're just moving around and doing things right here in the middle of the season, and Kentucky's due. They need a good coach. They need a good football coach who knows football really very well. And I know that the thing is the buyout with Stoops, because it's supposed to be like $54 million. I'm not sure, but it's around that area. And so I don't know if Kentucky can do that or not. I don't think they can, really.
Yeah.
So they may be stuck with Stoops until he gets ready to leave. But the AD there at Kentucky needs to know better next time rather than to give such big contracts to people. He gave one to Calipari, big lifetime contract. I'm sure you've heard about it and everything like that. And but Calipari just didn't do anything after he got that big contract, and he didn't have no reason to work anymore. After he got the lifetime contract, he's not going to work hard. And there he had to leave, and he found Arkansas that hired him on. But and that alleviated the buyout clause because he just left, because Kentucky was not satisfied with the basketball team not making it in the NCAA tournament. Going at least to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're all about in Kentucky. That's where we want to be. And when we don't make it there, then we're pretty upset. But as far as Trump goes with the deal with the thing going on with Venezuela, okay. Yeah, the last time I called in, I was talking about that, and Trump did say here this past week on 60 Minutes that Maduro's days are numbered, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so what does that mean? That means that he is going to either be extracted or removed from the office in one way or another. That's what it means. And so I was speaking about that when I called in before about that a few weeks ago. And so, it's going to happen. Maduro is going to have to get out of that position, and one way or another. That's the way it's going to be, because Trump is and the lady who was Norville, Deborah, I think that's her name, Norville, CBS anchor woman. She asked really crazy questions. I mean, trying to get Trump to tell her all the military secrets and this and that and the other. I mean, I cannot believe this woman. And Trump just told her, he said, "I can't believe you asked me such questions as this." I mean, I'm not going to tell you the things that we're going to be doing. And she kept on saying, "Well, why can't you tell me? Why can't you say this and that?" And he was just saying, because you don't do that, you know?
Let's just put up a telegraph.
And,
Let's put up a telegraph from Maduro and maybe the cartels in Mexico, right? Hey, this is what we're doing, and this is when we're doing it, and this is how you need to get prepared. Duh. Back into.
Ready to take the wheel of your future? With Transport Enterprise Leasing, you could start for just $500 down. Get new equipment, expert support, and a path to ownership, all with one of the lowest upfront costs in the industry. Whether you're starting out or leveling up, TEL is here to help you succeed. Visit tel360.com or call 866-404-6289. Use promo code OVERNIGHT100 to get rolling today. Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Fuel additives.
most fuel additives either impact performance or provide protection. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment provides both performance enhancement and fuel system protection. Everyday Diesel Treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday diesel treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com.
Rolling down the home stretch here. Hello to Roki. I saw that headline, earlier this past day, where in the state of California there was a customer at the Gold's Gym there that complained about a biological male being in the women's locker room. You know, transgender. And I think they banned her. Banned her from the gym. Here, take your, no more membership for you. Out of here. That's what it's come to in this day and age. Hey, let me see here. Yeah, Grump had a response for Philip, I believe.
Yeah, something he said there about the mitigation systems. They're not mandated by law. They're not mandated by regulation or anything else. The OEMs took that on themselves to create a system. Well, they actually hired a company to create a system. Like the system that's on my truck can be on a Kenworth, Peterbilt. You know, it doesn't matter. They can integrate them into whatever system there. So the problem I have with it is, number one, if I take this thing to a shop and somebody puts the fuses and stuff back in it, they're coming back out right then and there. Mm-hmm. And I will beat that damn thing with a hammer. There is nothing on the books that says that this thing has to work. Not a damn thing. There's nothing on there that says it's mandated that I got to have it. It's the hard-headedness of these damn OEMs that are saying, we think it works. We think it's a safety feature. Mm-hmm. Therefore, we're going to keep it on there. You know, and we're not going to give out the code or anything like that so that you guys can shut it off, because it's for your own good. I don't need some bitch telling me what's for my own good when I spend, a ton of money on a damn truck. I want it my way. All right, that's just a fact. If I want it to work, it'll work. If I don't want it to work, then shut it off. If it's mandated by law, then that's something different. But this is not mandated by anybody other than the OEMs saying that they believe, and all they're doing is they had so many damn trucking companies, like some of the big ATA companies, that wanted this kind of mitigation system on there and things when they first started coming out with it. So they just started, here, let's put it on these trucks. We'll sell them. This kind of thing. So that is just one of the problems. Last caller, they were talking about Maduro and Trump. I think it would be one of the stupidest things that Trump could do would be to send troops into Venezuela. Because if you remember what happened in Iraq when we were gearing up to go over this yellow cake and all the rest of that crap, Colin Powell stood in front of the UN and said, if you break it, you buy it. And he was referring to George Bush and if we send troops into Iraq. That damn war cost us $6 trillion in blood and treasure. And there is no indication that this one here wouldn't, if it come to this, would not be about the same. I mean, look at all the refugees that, he's bitching about them now, sending them the worst of the worst. What are they going to do with all the refugees, that's going to come about if we go to war with that outfit down there? The best thing that I could say, and he ought to say it, is get the UN involved. That's what their job is to try to get these dictators and people like that that's causing all these harm and stuff to its people out of office and stuff. That would be the best thing to do. Why in the hell is it that the United States seems to believe that we have to be the world's police officers? I have no idea. When he ran on the fact that we wasn't going to do that. That we're not the world's cops. And that's a fact. We need to stop that because it's the American taxpayer, Steve's getting tired of footing the bill for all this crap. And it just never ends. Once we get involved in something like this,
you don't think ends. It's all about the drug cartels, right? He says Maduro, he's supposed to be president of the country, but he's the one that's pretty much in charge, running and allowing the drugs to come out of Venezuela into the U.S. He said CIA, so covert ops to go in and take out, the cartel leaders and maybe some of the drug labs, but I don't know. There's a $50 million bounty on Maduro. I think he may be sending them in there to, as Carl said, extract Maduro himself.
Yeah, and that would be fine if they just took him out, got him out of there. But if you want to send troops into a country or something like that, that's like Venezuela. I think that would be one hell of a mistake because we have not learned from our mistakes. And if somebody wants to walk up behind him and stick a 22 in his ear and pull the trigger and say, okay, where's my $50 million or whatever, that's fine. I have no problem, looking at that. They're the people there. I don't know. I think they've suffered a lot, and everything from the previous administrations and from their own government. That's just the way it is, and they're looking for a damn reason to get out of that country, and I just don't think we need to, a flood of migrants or anybody else, refugees coming out of, and the damn Democrats that open the doors up. And I heard him also say something about this running in 2028. Said he ain't made up his mind, and then he says he's not going to do it. And he says, well, it hadn't been tested. I may do it, and he's getting backing from other Republicans on doing this. And my view on that is, okay, knock it off, because I guarantee you, if he tries to run in 2028, who else is going to run? Barack Hussein Obama, and he will win.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
I think Trump's, he's trolling them. He's a troll. He loves to get under their skin. He's already pretty much said he knows. And what didn't he say? We have a good field of contestants. Doesn't want to mention anybody by name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we do. You know, we got some fantastic people there. Rubio, two of the best. Rubio and Vance right there together, you know, and stuff like that. But
that may actually be that could be a team ticket. Now, when you start talking about a team, who gets to be the top of the ticket? Nobody wants to be like second in line. It's Rubio's already tried once before, so I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Right there, though. Thank you, Rob. We are out of time. Got to call it a day. Have a great Taco Tuesday. We'll be back. Do it again at the midnight hour Eastern Time tonight. Our next edition.
Never guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Looks better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that world that I dream of. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, 'cause I